hope I find you well. Just trying to do one or two things. I'm hoping they will work out. Um, I haven't been trying to do some posts, but it's been hectic. Do bear with me. Please subscribe to us. Help us grow the platform. I really do appreciate your support. Um, this topic is really about what Africa should expect, what Africa should do as we know at currently. Greetings, and welcome to Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. It is to do with the ongoing war in Iran and how that impacts us in in Africa. Currently, Nigerian government is in the President Tinubu has been or is currently in London having some sort of a welcome from the UK government. But as we all know, that is what is going on in Iran has a far more stronger significance on what is likely to happen in future on the African continent, and it is worth discussing that. So what Iran is doing right now, greetings all as you're watching, greetings and good afternoon, welcome those of you on YouTube. Please continue to give us a thumbs up, subscribe, hit notification button, give us thumbs up, help us reach more people. We really do appreciate you. It is very important that your support in what we're trying to do is critical. As I've stated, the more that you share this, the more it will reach more people. We want to have a meaningful discussion about the way forward, particularly as Africans on the African continent, about how we actually, in the changing world that we're in, how we're able to make sure that our resources finally benefit us, as a people. It's very, very important that we discuss that, and I wanted to, come and talk about that on the broadcast. Thank you very much for the thumbs up as you're watching. Thank you. So I'm still keen on, please, as I stated, we are very keen for people to sign up to the newsletter. I've put the links up, and I've seen some people who are signing up to it. So let's continue. Let us share that. And also we have a new Substack. There's a new Substack which I believe I've shared. If I haven't shared it, I will endeavor to share it again, just so that we have that. And you can just go and subscribe to Citizen LY on Substack. That yet gives us more opportunity to be able to share broadcasts without interruptions. And of course, we are looking for support from those who are joining us. The key thing we want to do is the information that we're sharing here, we believe, in fact, we know is of immense importance. And many people that we've been over the years been talking to, it's become apparent that we weren't fully aware of a lot of information, that we've come across, and now having that information has been of great benefit to us, not only as an information hub, but also in a spiritual sense, to reawaken, to realign what we are and all of that. So please, we do appreciate that support. So we are going to go, we are live now on TikTok. So I'm going to try and get that going. Greetings and welcome to Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. So we're going to talk about the issue of Iran and the ongoing war, and we are allowed to talk about this. We should be. I know I'm facing severe restrictions. Those of you on YouTube, please continue to share and give us a thumbs up and help us reach more people. We do appreciate that support. We're going to probably do about an hour or so and see how that goes. I really do appreciate you, Johnny Femi Babalola. Greetings. Oscaras, Brilliant Media, Angel Maguil, Owusu Kennedy. The reason why I'm talking about this is oftentimes we've been hearing a lot of information about Iran, and I think we need to discuss this in a way that makes sense to us, because I'm afraid we have to think, after Iran, then who next? You know, we have to think about that. After Iran, then who next? Whoops, whoops. No vocals. Can you hear me? Whoa, whoa, whoa. No vocals. I didn't expect that. Well, can you hear me now? No? Okay. Okay, you can't hear me. No, I can see that now. So just give me a minute, please. Oh, man, I may have to go and come back. I know sometimes this happens. So I may have to go and come back. Just give me a minute. I'll have to go and come back. I don't know why that's happened. I'm just going to try and sort the mic out. It was working fine just now, but it just seems to have just switched up on me. You can't hear me, so I'm trying to get it out. Just give me a minute. Test audio. Testing 1 2. Testing. Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. Nope. Okay. I'm gonna try and I'll have to go and come back there because I can't quite get why it's not working. Just give me a minute, please. Just bear with me. I don't quite know why that's happened. It has functioned before up to now. It has functioned, but it is not allowing me to do it. So let me go. I'm gonna have to go and come back. I'll go and come back. Don't know why it's happened. I wasn't expecting this to be a problem at all. General settings. Let me try it again. I'm just gonna try. Okay, let me just give me a minute, please. You can't hear me at all. I don't understand. Audio. Okay, 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Okay, we're back, and we're back. Thank you very much. Yeah, now we're back. I don't know what happened. Greetings and welcome. Welcome to Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. Thank you for joining us. Help us share the broadcast. Help us reach more people with who need your support. Don't forget, go ahead and sign up to our newsletter and help us grow the platform. You are, of course, listening to Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to talk about issues here, but I'm going to talk about it in a way where I don't want them to be flagging me. So what that means is from here on, I'm going to be talking about things in a way that is not going to be controversial, shall we say, because I've noticed that the last few times I've been on, it has gone, what's the word? It hasn't worked. They've flagged me. So I'm hoping that this will stop. And it sort of breaks the momentum up, and I don't want that. So please, as you're joining, do subscribe and share and help us reach more people. I really do appreciate you as you're coming in. And of course, consider subscribing to Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. Now, what's the topic for today? The topic for today is this. Iran is fighting for its survival. Apologies for the word double spelling there. For its survival, what can Africa learn? So that's the topic today. What can Africa learn? Greetings, Aisha. Oh my gosh, I need to give you a call. Okay, I'll have to give you a call. I do apologize. It's been hectic, busy. I'll have to call you, Aisha. Yes. Okay. So the topic today is Iran is fighting for its survival. What can Africa learn? As we know, Iran is a sovereign nation. Please tap on the screen as you're watching. Tap on the screen and share. Help us grow the platform. We really do appreciate your support. So we know that Iran is a sovereign nation. And there are things that I wanted us to know as Africans about what is going on in the situation that Iran is in right now. So we need to be aware of what has happened. Now, Iran, just as a before now, Iran was actually run under the monarchy, but then under the guise of trying to modernize the Iran, US meddled in it, and then they brought in an Ayatollah, and then there was a fight, and then before you knew it, they were fighting each other, you know, and then they chased away the monarchy and all of that. I'm just giving you a brief sketch of the story so we have an idea of what Iran came up, how Iran came about. And ever since Iran had oil, they've always had problems of interference from America. And it culminated in the incident in 1979, where Iran took hostage. Iran took hostage of people due to the disagreement and with America, and you know, I think it was the embargo, you know, and all of that was happening. So Iran, on their soil, took hostages. Now, I'm gonna play you a video, and this is for all Africans. I want Africans to understand. Watch this video and just have a listen to what was said in it, if I can find the video. So I want you to listen to the thinking of the Ayatollah here. Now, I'm just telling us so that we know. Many people may not be aware. Many were not aware. Many may know who are, you know, over the age of a certain age, but many may not know that the Ayatollah actually released women and black hostages. And the words that he used there is very, very important. And I wanted to just put an emphasis on that. And then to now think going forward, how does what is happening now with Iran, how does that impact Africa? Iran is a sovereign nation. Wherever the disagreement that the US may have, that sovereignty, from what we can see, has not been respected. They have never been allowed to exercise their sovereignty as a nation. They have been interfered with, and it's largely, somebody sent something, and I wish I had it here now, I haven't got it, whereby they talked about Africa will always give you freedom. I'm sorry, America will always come to give you freedom as long as you have oil. Yes, something to that word. America will always come to give you freedom as long as there is oil in your soil. So the question is it freedom that America or the US is trying to give you? Or are they trying to free the oil from yourself, from your land for themselves? That's the question that I think we need to be asking as a people. You know, so as Africans, we know, and like I said, we've seen all of the stuff that's gone on. 7 countries, general whatever his name, that general mentioned 7 countries, you know, that the US, in 5 years, that the US had to conquer, one of which was Syria, Sudan, Libya, Iraq, Iran, you know, Afghanistan, and I think one more. Anyway, so all of this is pointing to there is no talk of democracy that you can use to justify any action that that the US has done thus far. It cannot be justified in any way, shape, or form. And I know people would not like to hear this, and they might probably block me for saying this, but Iran has the right to defend its people. And I think we need to be very, very conscious of that. Many African countries seeing what is going on, I think we have to be very, very aware that this is not going to stop. When this operation that is going on against Iran goes on, finished, there will always be other areas that the US, in its current hegemonic state, will always look at as an area to come and liberate and all of that. You know, operative word, liberate. Now, is it to liberate the people or to liberate them from their resources? That is the question that we are asking here. But let us listen to this and I'll come back. Let's listen.
some black hostages, and some female hostages.
So let me do this again, please. So
Today, perhaps today, some black hostages and some female hostages will be released from the American Embassy compound. Is that true?
The freedom of the women and blacks will be given. Women are given great dignity in Islam, and the blacks have been oppressed in the United States. Great injustice was done unto them.
now, I want you to really understand that. And this is a message that I really want us as Africans to understand. Particularly in view of when many of our African leaders are very quick to try and have any interaction with the US. We have to understand that what the US government, how the US government is treating its own foundational Black American population, is a very strong indication of how we are likely to be treated. I don't say this out of hate. I say it as a matter of fact. So let's listen to that point again. I want you to listen again. Listen.
And the blacks have been oppressed in the United States. Great injustice was done unto them. They were under pressure in the United States. Thus they came here. We are doing this owing to the tenets of Islam. In return, we ask nothing for their freedom. We want the...
So I want many Africans who are, and there are many Africans, particularly in Nigeria, for example. We need to understand that the issue of what is going on, particularly under this BK, BH, the BH. I'm careful about the words I'm using here. The terror, that these people, they are using that religion to achieve their own stated aims. It's nothing to do with the religion. It is they're using that religion to get their aims. Now, it is hard to decipher that. I understand. But I'm saying that what Iran has shown is that they understood the plight of the foundational Black Americans or the Native Americans, however way you want to call it, from the get-go. And they were saying that they haven't got an issue with Native Americans. They have the issue with those who have come and who are oppressing them, who are equally oppressing Iran in their land, who also are oppressing Native Americans in America. So it's really important to understand that point. But let's carry on.
Sure. Carter must return him. The world's international law agree with this principle.
I ask you, as an American and a human being, talking to an Iranian and another human being, is there no room for compromise? Or is Iran now, in effect, at war with the United States?
حضرت امام آقای جناب عالی دولت کلی ایران در حال حاضر با امریکا در حال جنگ هستیم.
جنگ مقصود چی است؟ اگر مقصود این است که
What do you mean by war? If you mean our armies against the United States armies, no, there is no such war. If you mean it is a battle of nerves, it is Carter's doing.
See?
We are against war. We are Muslims. We desire peace for all. Carter does not allow this. Carter should put aside his so-called humanism and return the criminal Shah so that we can conclude this matter.
So, the reason why I played that is for two reasons. Number one, there is this idea that the Americans are portrayed that they are just against everything and Iran is not. I'm not speaking up for them, but I am trying to show you, particularly the African listeners, that there was a generosity of heart from Iran by releasing 13 black hostages. And based on the treatment that America has actually meted out. We're talking about the Black Wall Street, there's many sundown towns, unaliving, all of those things. That is what he was referring to in that in what he said there. And I felt that it was something that was worth discussing and looking at as we speak, because it's oftentimes the misinformation has often played a lot of the false narrative. And that's why I say to you that as people of color around the world, we need to do our own research. We cannot take everything that we've heard or read or we've been told at face value. We cannot. We have to make sure that we do our own research. And hopefully platforms like ours is designed to make sure that we can do that research in helping each other to understand what is really going on, to dig beneath the facade of the false narratives of many of the mainstream media, and then be able to get to the facts of the matter. Now, as it currently stands, I have yet to see anywhere where there is a direct threat to the U.S. on the U.S. soil from Iran. Correct me if I'm wrong. There have been no definite thing that you could pin. Of course, there have been allegations, and those are yet to be substantiated. But what I do know is that they're under the guise of trying to give the people independence and freedom. That is the usual mantra of the U.S. They have invaded a sovereign nation, and they're trying to justify their actions, and they still haven't. The U.S. has not apologized for the unaliving of over 163 children using their weapons. And it is really quite sad that the people or the hegemony that preaches democracy and self-expression and all that is repressing and actually stopping the people from actually being able to express themselves. The people of Iran are saying they are standing with their government, and any of the actions taken by the US, if that was happening on the soil of the US, the people would rightly do exactly what the people in Iran are doing now, which is to stand by their government. And of course, many of us know there is a history of all of the American presidents of having to go to war against other people in their country. And that begins to look like it is, this is like you're going to other people's nations and taking it over and imposing people that you want to be in government there. That is not democratic. Just the idea of that alone, and I want to say this because we are in a world where to be able to speak freely about what you see and how you interpret it and how you interact with other people is severely sanctioned. That you have to, I've not been out for a few days because I just thought, what's the point? I wanted to talk, but I can't really talk freely because I'm having to watch the words I say and how I say it, and not, we're not robots. We are, human beings that have our own thoughts, ideas, and reasoning, and we must be allowed to share those things. Yes, of course, we cannot talk about. I'm not here to talk about, preaching anything to do with, being physically violent and all of that. So if that was the case, I could understand. But when we're just merely talking about the about what is going on and showing the injustice of it and being sanctioned for that, it just really makes you, I for one find that very, very, what kind of a world are we in when we are not allowed to express what is really happening and say and have a different opinion and be allowed to air those opinions and not be trained to think in a particular way or the other. We are, we are beings that can think and reason, and we must be allowed to do that without interference. We're not harming anybody. The actions, in fact, we argue that the actions of the so-called people that are bringing democracy is actually harming the very people that they're trying to shout this democracy. We are bringing you democracy and freedom. They are actually harming them, and we got evidence of that on ground in Iran right now. So I brought the video to show you. I mean, in the 1979 war, in 1979, during an Iran hostage crisis, Iran released women and all the 13 black hostages out of the total of 39 hostages. Ayatollah Khomeini explained why he felt that black people should be released, kept only the Zionist white man. That is what he said. I'm only quoting what he said, and I don't hope they don't come for me. I'm only quoting what he said, and those are feelings. Again, we are in a world where you cannot speak freely, and that's why you see me advocate relentlessly on my platform and on wherever I speak. I'm advocating 100% that we have our own media. We have our own social media platform. By the way, as I'm speaking to you, one of the things I found out, I'm sure many of you know, Facebook was actually a government creation. And that is an information that is, I will come and talk more about that. So when we think about it's been by Zuckerberg and all that, this was actually a US creation. So we need to really understand and reappraise our understanding of what is before us. And these are questions and things that I will come and talk about at a later date. But I wanted to just mention that. And that means that the reason I mentioned that is that in Africa, we need to understand that to have a platform where we can speak freely, it will have to have it have to be built by, the nations, of Africa coming together, and the government heavily funding this, because what they've done with this Facebook thing now that I understand, you think many people were selling us this dream, Mark Zuckerberg and everything else, but when you now found out that on one day it was one name under the US government, and on the next day it became that, and there's no explanation of that migration from the US government into the hands of Mark Zuckerberg. But that tells you that there is something that needs to be looked at there. And it makes us, we have to understand on African continent that those who are telling us about they're telling us about entrepreneurship and everything else, they are hiding things from us, and then they are telling us to do things that they themselves have not done. We need to build structures in place to benefit our people by work. It cannot be done on this entrepreneurship. It's a pie in the sky. It's a pie in the sky, because the people that are going to be benefiting from this need that support. It cannot be left on, we're going to, one company will do that and all of that, because on evidence of just, like I said, on the evidence of just Facebook alone, it is clear that Facebook wasn't created by Mark Zuckerberg. It was a U.S. creation, U.S. government creation. I'm not saying that out of hate. It's the facts. But many of us, we believe, because of the narrative of what we've been told about it, we will have one belief about what or knowledge of how it came about, when in actual fact it's actually a different thing. But anyway, going back to what I'm saying, with what is happening with Iran, the only reason why Iran is having all of this happening is because of the oil. The oil of Iran is why all of this is happening. If Iran did not have oil, I guarantee you the US would not be anywhere near. They will not be anywhere near Iran. But because of the oil that is going on, because of that oil and the need to control the Straits of Hormuz and all of that, and the petrodollar, all of this is all tied up. All of this is all linked together. In the 70s, Eisenhower, I believe he was in a deal. He had signed a deal with the Saudis to sell the oil in dollars. In return, the US will provide safety and security for the region. That was the plan, and that had gone on for over 50 years. But curiously, now, with what the US has done, waging a war against Iran, in Iran, to deny the people of Iran the right to choose their own government, but instead trying to put in place those who will dance to the tune of the US. That is no longer democracy, and we need to be allowed to say this without having without us being sanctioned. We must be allowed to speak about this, because the actions of what is happening in Iran will cascade down to, is already cascading down to Africa. I just mentioned one country, Libya. Libya's resources. The only reason why the US are involved in that area, was involved or meddled in Libya, is because of the resources in Libya. And so you can see there's a running theme here that, when you talk about Iran, it's oil. Libya is oil. Syria is oil. Afghanistan, I'm not too sure if they got oil, but I think it's tactically because of Russia and all of that, but I'll explain that. So it's not necessarily oil directly, but by and large, many of those countries that the US are involved in have resources. So the guise of, we're coming to help you with democracy, is a ruse. And I think it is time that those of us who are melanated will begin to really connect this and share this message with those supposed leaders. And we need to pick better leaders who are going to stand up for our rights. And the leaders that we have in many countries, except for the men that you see behind me, Captain Ibrahim Traore, it was his birthday a few days ago, and I sent him a happy birthday. I hope he got it, and we salute him, And then, of course, we have General Assimi Goïta of Mali, and of course, General Abdourahmane Tiani of Niger. These are men who are exceptional men who are fighting for independence of Africa, to be able to defend ourselves, protect ourselves, and actually be able to trade freely among ourselves. Those are three key things that they stand for, and we support. Oh, that's my cup there. If you do want to order a cup, the Citizen AY cup, you have it there. Get in touch with me, and like I said, the clothes as well. The reason I'm saying all of this now is we do need your support. As I'm talking to you now, please don't forget, subscribe to us on Facebook. Go ahead right now, subscribe to us on YouTube. We are live on YouTube. Go ahead and subscribe to us. Help us grow the platform. Share the broadcast as well. Share the live. Help us reach more people. There are things I want to talk about. Of course, we know about the actual war, what is going on with the war. There's been a lot of missiles going one way and then going the other, which is going on right now. I'm being careful about what I can say or cannot say about it, because you cannot, again, this is the problem. So for us as Africans to be able to speak freely, we're calling on the African um, presidents and African nations. Please, we need to build our own platform so that we can speak freely. The platforms that we are on as Africans are not African. Like I said, I told you, the US, the Mark Zuckerberg one is US. You know, the WhatsApp is US. You know, TikTok is Chinese, but okay, it's on the you know. We need to have something of our own. It is very, very important because to speak freely now is a problem. And that is not a sign of a democratic, that is sign that is sign of a nation that is, or a so-called democratic nation, you know, imposing undemocratic practices on a nation that they're encouraging to be democratic, if that makes sense to you at all. That is what we're faced with. So, like I said, the reason I'm saying this, Iran is fighting for its survival. What can Africa learn? One of the things that Iran has been doing, when the US has been before, the US, up until now, the US has been able to go to any country and destroy their infrastructure, i.e. infrastructure that particularly that supports the that will support the industry, in this case oil. They've been able to go in and destroy it and cause instability in that country and impose, you know, thereby forcing a change of government, because the people now, they're forced to live without the things that they need, and then changes the government to the benefit of the US. Well, now in the case of Iran, what has happened is that Iran has hit back. Iran has hit back and hit places like Dubai, UAE, Saudi Arabia, you know, all of those. There are about 7 or 8 nations around, you know, that the U.S. bases have been placed, and they've targeted every single one of them. So much so that even Trump was saying, "Oh, when we spoke, we didn't expect them to go and attack our bases." But Iran did say, "If you are destabilizing my nation, then I have the right to go and defend myself and anybody in the region supporting you, and allowing their land to be used to have weapons that the US or others can bring in to now attack them. They will view them as a threat to the existence of Iran." And when that kept happening, guess what Iran did? Iran bombed certain key sites in those 7 or 8 countries, including United Arab Emirates, including Saudi Arabia, including you know, all of the countries around. So now what that has meant for America, and this is what they did not, I don't think America did not know that Iran was ready for them. Iran, after all of the years of oppression and the weapons of mass destruction they're about to build a nuclear weapon and all of that, Iran decided to actually protect itself. So right now, Iran is now doing something. Iran is not going to stop this war until or go for ceasefire unless the US puts a stop to any attempts to regime change. What Iran is saying now is that any attempt that you say, "Oh, we're going to have a ceasefire," is merely another staging post to perfect the regime change that the US wants to perfect on Iran, because they have to hold and control. In their mind, they have to control Iran. And this is crazy. You cannot be telling concrete to us in one breath about democracy, and then in the next breath now taking a very totally undemocratic action and not expect us to speak about it. So what Iran has done now, for some reason, if they said it, they said if you attack us, if you go and start wage a war against us in our land, then any of the people or those countries that you are using as staging post, they are under threat, and they made good on that threat to defend themselves by making sure that those countries were no longer going to be places in which the US could now use as a staging post to carry out attacks against them. Now, what that has meant is now changed the face of this battle. The US was thinking that this battle will be 2 weeks, maybe a week or two, and there would have been a change of leadership and all of that. But they have not factored on the fact that the Iranian system is not based on it's not a centralized system in terms of its governance. There is always a structure whereby they have a plan in place for each and every area, and how each area will be autonomous should in case situation like this happens, so that the command and control structure was devolved down in the system rather than being at the top. So the clear thinking of the US has been, or the Western strategies has been, that if you cut off the snake at the top, everything else falls in place. Well, that cannot and has proved not to be the case in case of Iran. Now they've unalived the Ayatollah and security men and all of that. They've unalived a lot of people, and the structure of Iran is still standing. Everybody knows what they need to do, and all the posts, they always have somebody who will step in at short notice, because that is how it's designed. So there is a bit of projection, from what I can see, by the West, a misconception that, oh, once we cut off the head or whatever whatever time they want to use, we are able to now take control. And even now, they're still doing that. And keep in mind, all of this is still keeping in mind, this is a sovereign nation. This is a sovereign nation that has the right to exist, that has a right to determine its own future. Something that the US love to espouse. But when in reality, the country having those amount of resources and of oil and everything else, the US sees it as his right to go and actually destabilize that nation and put in a government that will only listen to what the US wants them to listen to, and ignoring the plight of millions of people. And let us not forget, those of us listening, watching, let's not forget that the sanctions, the state of the economy of Iran has been impacted by the sanctions that the US has permanently imposed on it for year upon year upon year upon year, and still Iran has not folded. So sanctions, economy has been another extension of the war, and that's been in place. And as soon as that was being ratcheted up to the maximum, they now added military means to it, and that is what is happening right now. And so far, Iran is standing up to that task. So that what I wanted to say is, as Africans, we need to, and the men you see behind me, Burkina Faso, Ibrahim Traore, General Chiani of Mali, and General Chiani of Niger, and General Assimi Goïta of Mali, they have both looked at that scenario, and one thing they stated is about security. We have to be in control of our security, and that has been demonstrated perfectly by Iran. Iran is able to defend itself. Because Iran is able to defend itself despite the enormous losses due to unprovoked attack from the US and Israel, Iran is still standing, and they have weapons that is like a deterrence. It is a deterrence. Now, many of those Arab countries that are working with US and Israel now, they are now having a hard time planning to think about, oh, should we do any more collaboration with the US? with the full knowledge that if we do so, we risk being attacked by a capable Iran. So already now you can see that the thinking of those countries is now heavily being influenced by the fact that before, up until now, they had given the support to the US, knowing fully well that there was protection for their own people in their land. Now there is no protection for people. Let me name those countries. In fact, let me look at the countries that, around. I think we need to put a picture up so that we can go that Arab countries supporting US. Let me just put in countries with US bases. Let me just put that up so that you can see with US bases. Okay, so we can see those countries. Those of you on TikTok. So here we go. So there are Arab countries with US bases. So we're going to name them. So Qatar, Bahrain, Kuwait, UAE, Saudi Arabia, Jordan, and Syria. Now all of those places. So Bahrain has been hit, Qatar has been hit, Kuwait has been hit, UAE has been hit, Saudi Arabia has been hit, and I believe Jordan has been hit also. So all of those countries now, they now have to think about, do we go ahead and support USA with the full knowledge that every support we'll give to them, we will have a blowback of our refineries being attacked, our airport being attacked. We had today, I believe today, the airport in Doha, if I'm correct, was attacked. Let me just see. I'll just give that up, see if I can find that out. And let me see if I can find it. So let me just so let me see. Okay, let me just see if it will come up. No, not that one. Okay, let me just see. So sorry, not that one. And of course, there was also the attack on the U.S. embassy in Iraq. So let me see. I'm trying to see. There was an attack now. Let me see. So Iran says it will retaliate after reports of Israel attacked major gas field. So what that is saying, the reason I'm showing you all of this, I don't want to show you live pictures because they may bring it down. There's been a lot of destruction on both sides. You can certainly see the destruction in Iran. They're not hiding it. But we cannot see the destruction in Israel because there are restrictions. But we do know that there are destructions. So the assumption by the US that they had total control via air, via land, via all of that has totally failed. It's been exposed to be deeply flawed. And this is what I want us as Africans to begin to understand. What Iran has demonstrated is that the ability to protect itself from those from those who thought previously they could actually just come in and destroy the country and destabilize it. They've demonstrated an amazing ability to withstand anything that the US, as strong as the US is, they've demonstrated an amazing ability to defend themselves using weapons that they themselves have created from within their own government, from their own land. Where's BB? Sal, yes. Let me bring in Sal. Yes, absolutely. I'm going to follow. Exactly. They will not. So, yeah, very good. Sal, I was just, sorry about that. If I haven't been reading the story, I've been trying to follow what people, please, as you're watching, we welcome gifts. Gift the platform, help us grow the platform. We do need your support. And also go ahead and subscribe to us. Oh, Sino, yeah. Love you too. Peace, bro. Yeah, yeah. Thank you very much. Let me pin your message there. Thank you. I'm gonna pin that message. Thank you. So, why am I saying this? As you're watching this, please subscribe to us. Go ahead and subscribe to Citizen AY on YouTube. Help us grow the platform. Help us reach more people. We do need your support. I'll be posting things, and sign up for our newsletter, please. I would really like you to sign up for my newsletter, Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. Because we need to be able to do our information, work on things without any Lady Max, greetings. Oh yes, I need to be in touch with you, Lady Max. I will give you a call. Sorry, I've been away for a while. Let me bring you on. If you're able to speak, I'll bring you in. I'll bring in Sal as well, if you are able to speak, even if for a few minutes. So we're just talking about what the emphasis here is to see what Iran is doing. The Western world had believed that Iran was easily able to be rolled over, and they would take over, and they would, but Iran is standing. And that is what I want us to really understand in Africa. Ibrahim Traore, Asimi General Chani, the Alliance of Sahel States, because they stood together, it is difficult for the West to actually destabilize them. But yet still, they need more. They need more support. They need more support in terms of how to, have that totally independent defense. And that's where I'm really going with this discussion today. In Africa, it is evident that we must have our own defense. We have to have our own defense. Currently, in many African countries, I just read today, Kenya, they are relying on a system that they bought from Israel. That is a problem, in my opinion. That is a major problem, because we found out that in the US selling some African countries weapons. They have what they call a KILL switch, a switch that they can flick that will render that equipment ineffective against them should in case they get into anything with the US. So that that is clear that we need, and in Africa we have to design our own weapons, and we are able to do it. We have the capabilities on ground. This idea that Africa is defenseless or we don't have any innovators. Let me just give you an example. In Africa now, there are so many. The West always comes to Africa, and they take away any of the brainy kids that are developing phones, smart technology, drones, or as soon as they see them, they take them out. That's because they don't want us to have our own base of a rich resource of talent that can build and sustain an arms industry geared to protecting Africa. So we need to dispel this idea that Africa cannot do anything. The people that they're using to build the drones and things, quite a lot of them come from Africa. And we have to be very aware. So we shouldn't be afraid in Africa of having our own security, building our own security apparatus. And as it has been clearly displayed by Iran. Iran has got some technologies that are still coming out even now, that they are still using, that it is causing sheer amazement to the West, that had thought, oh, this thing will be over. We are in the third week of this thing now, and they've closed the Hormuz Strait. By sheer force of will, determination, and proper planning, they have decided that if you are going to be bombing me, then we are going to take action to defend ourselves, and you will not pass my place, the waters, where I have control, and continue to bomb me. You cannot have your cake and eat it. No way. We are not going to do this. And this is bad. All of this needn't have happened. Not now. So what I really want us all to do is to really begin to think about and speak to our African leaders, that the longer that you leave your security in the hands of the very people, the colonials, who are, by the way, coming into your land and buying your resources on the cheap, you are putting yourself and your nation and your people in danger, because their focus is no longer about you. It's about your resources and how they can get access to that resources by any means necessary. That includes destabilizing your community, destabilizing your your culture, your the whole thing. They don't care 1 second how many people they unalive in the process of acquiring the resources that rightfully belongs to you and your people. So there is something that our African leaders have got to understand, and that's why I'm saying this. The men here, these men that you see in the picture, that's why you see them there. Every time I do a broadcast, you will always see them. And salute to each and every one of them. Salute to Ibrahim Traore, salute to General Abdurrahman Chiani, salute to General Assimi Goita. These are men that are speaking up for their people. So please do sign. As you're watching me, please go ahead and sign up and subscribe to Citizen AY on YouTube. Sign up for my newsletter. Let me see if have I got a way to, I can't do it right now. I'll have to do that later on. There's a newsletter that I want you to sign up for. If you go on my Facebook page now, it's on there. And I think I shared it, I believe I shared it on TikTok. And there is a link which I will share later on. And also, before I forget, Substack. Let me see if I can get you that. I'm going to get you, let me show you a picture of my Substack. I am also on Substack. Can you please subscribe to me on Substack? I really do need your support. There is a lot to cover, and I am really grateful that the support that I've been receiving in, and the feedback I've been getting from people in terms of, the work we're doing on this platform, and how people are finding it beneficial. And we would like to focus more on that fully now. But of course, that requires, it takes time, it takes effort, it takes funding, and that is where you come in. Subscribing to my platform will mean that we can have a sustainable information that we're going to be researching and bringing to you, one-on-one direct contact, and there are the benefits of you joining me as a standard member, as a medium member, and then super member, and all of that. It all comes with that, and that is going to be in the newsletter. Like I said, this first month is going to be free. I do need you to help me, so sign up to that newsletter. Help us grow the platform. I really need your that support from you, and I'm really grateful for you joining my broadcast thus far. Let me see if I can find that information. I was going to get you something. Have I got it here? Yeah, I might do. Just gonna check. Okay, let me just make sure I check it. No, okay. Just gonna check something. Okay, no, it's not there. Okay. I had, there is, give me 1 second. No, it's not here. Okay, I'll have to bring it back. But let me just do, for those of you that missed the interview, I just want to just bring this interview forward again. And listen, for every African, please share this message. I'm not saying, this is not about the religion of Islam. This is about the people of Iran and the Iran government and what they did. The Iranian government, they feed black people. And a lot of us don't understand that. The black people that have been mistreated by the US government. And I need to understand that. So let's listen to this one again.
Hear, Imam, that today,
1 second.
perhaps today, some black hostages and some female hostages will be released from the American embassy compound. Is that true?
The freedom of the women and blacks will be given. Given great dignity in Islam. And the blacks have been oppressed in the United States. Great injustice was done unto them. They were under pressure in the United States. Thus they came here. We are doing this owing to the tenets of Islam. In return, we ask nothing for their freedom. We want the Shah. Carter must return him. The world's international law agree with this principle.
I ask you, as an American and a human being, talking to an Iranian and another human being, is there no room for compromise? Or is Iran now, in effect, at war with the United States?
حضرت امام آقای جناب عالی دولت الکلی ایران در حال حاضر با امریکا در حال جنگ هستیم.
جنگ مقصود چی است؟ اگر مسئول است که
What do you mean by war? If you mean our armies against the United States armies, no, there is no such war. If you mean it is a battle of nerves, it is Carter's doing. We are against war. We are Muslims. Desire peace for all. Carter does not allow this. Carter should put aside his so-called humanism and return the criminal Shah so that we can conclude this matter.
So there you've had it there. The reason I'm stating this is we need to be very aware that the portrayal, now whilst I'm not speaking for Iran, but all I know, what I do know is that in the world that we are living in, if we are not allowed to be able to speak truth to power, to be able to actually say, look, this is not right, and we are being silenced and we are being, being forced to comply with a skewed thinking, then that is not a just and fair world, as far as I can tell. We must be allowed to be able to air our different opinion rather than the prevailing narrative that we are being rapidly forced to comply with. And that's the problem. The narrative, the danger of false narrative is something that we cannot we can no longer underestimate, or overestimate. For too long, this narrative that they put before us was that whatever they tell us is what is the right way. Thank you very much for the thumbs up, those of you watching us on YouTube. Please give us thumbs up, continue to share. I appreciate you. Waris Dinodu, thank you very much for joining. Sinovia Ridley, thank you very much. I will be, I think I've dropped my number. You can actually reach me on +44 7399 580 606. I'll drop that number for you so you can get in touch with me, so you can send me your details in terms of sign up, because I know you've expressed an interest in signing up, and I'm keen for you to do that as well, and many others. You can, of course, there is a number you can reach me on +44 7399 580 606. On that number, you can also send your sign up details, i.e. your email and your name, and then we can then add you to our sign up list, because we need to be doing it on a monthly basis. This month is going to be free, then the following months would have be subscription based, and there'll be levels. We need that support, and like I said, we want to, this is something that we recognize that there is a gap in a lot of things in terms of information that we're receiving, particularly the relevant information that we need to be able to make informed decisions as Africans. A lot of the information that we've been receiving, and I certainly, by my own experience, has been information that has not been of help to me or my development, and likewise the coming generation. I don't want to envisage a world in which the coming generation that are coming behind us will not have information that they can use to make informed decisions, and that has been something that I have personally experienced. And I want to be able to use the knowledge that I've acquired now over the years to be able to now enrich others, so that we can all make collective informed decisions, knowing the facts of the world. Half of the information, in fact, 90% of the information that we learn in our schools have been information that has actually disempowered us collectively, you know, and actually blinded us to what was really happening. And that is why platforms like ours is important. So please go ahead and subscribe to the Substack that you see on the screen there. You know, Citizen AY, you know, HTTS, you know, citizenay.substack.com. Please go ahead and subscribe right now. I really do need that support. And of course, the sign up to the newspaper as well, to the newsletter as well, because what we want to be doing is I have there's 3 topics I'm covering there. The plan with the visit to the planned visit sometime this year to Burkina Faso. Either myself or a few other people. If you want to join in that trip, do get in touch with me. Express your interest and let us you know, organize that together. I've got contacts on ground. We will be able to go and be able to meet, you know, have an audience with Ibrahim Traore, and that will be something magical. And of course, I can easily see that, and then from there, who knows, we may be able to do something in Niger and Mali, and then go to other things, and that could develop into other things. So the key thing is, you see, we need to we have to start as we mean to go on. Over time, we should be doing more and more stuff on the African continent to support Africa. So that means, you know, having trips, having the narratives about Africa. We have to, the only people that will change that narrative to a positive narrative is you and me, by our interactions on the continent. So it is really important that we begin to do the work that we're doing. Yeah, time for the continent to back the gold standard as to go back to and proposed by Gaddafi. Exactly. One of the Waris Jinodu, one of my great friends here on YouTube, just said, and as you're watching me, if you haven't subscribed to me on YouTube and you're on TikTok, please go ahead and do so. It won't cost you anything. Just go and subscribe. We need that number up. We're about 6,500 followers on YouTube. We'd like to get to 10,000 in a short space of time because there's a lot of work to do. Yes, Burkina Faso. Exactly, Lady Mark. So that's the plan. We are looking into that. But like I said, we do need support from yourselves, from everybody else to get involved in this. I do have contacts that can actually get us to have an audience with Ibrahim Traore. So I will talk to you more about that, Lady Max, as well. And it's all about, you know, expressing this interest and building this among ourselves. You see, we cannot, we have to, for so long we've been conditioned to actually have this belief that Africa is not capable. No. We have to banish that idea. There is nothing under this sky that we can't achieve. Nothing. There is no limit. In fact, we are the definition of everything going. Everything. We are, literally. And that is why we are encouraging, and we need to fan that flame of inspiration in our youth. So please help me. Subscribe to me. Subscribe to me on Substack right now. Go right now. You can see it on the screen. I'm putting it on the screen for you. Substack, the Substack. Just click on it. Subscribe. You know, if it's just a couple of days old, and I'm really trying to push that because I want to have as many platforms as possible, so that in case if there's the one is down, then at least we have the other one. But ultimately, what we want to do is to actually grow. We want to have our own platform, and we need to be in a situation where we will be having that discussion. Thankfully, in Alliance of Sahel States, they actually have their own media communication. That might be the basis upon which the whole of Africa in the future will actually be able to have our own media, you know, have our own media platform that is going to speak for and serve Africans on the African continent. So that is something I'm really keen to see develop. But in the meantime, of course, there is no harm in us actually begin to come together and actually have a media space where we can speak freely. Because again, you see, the fact that we cannot speak freely on the media platforms created by the colonials is a clear indication that Africa is still not free. What controls the minds of millions of Africans is being controlled by forces outside of Africa. what controls the minds of millions of Africans is being controlled by forces outside of Africa. And that is not a good place in which to be. They literally from the outside are shaping your mind. Right now, when you're going to do anything on TikTok, when you're going to do anything on Facebook, when you're going to do anything on any of those platforms, you have to conform to the style. I've noticed some videos, and I'm stating again, I've noticed that they're pushing some videos on TikTok, on Facebook, when you have half-naked women in any video, that is promoted on these platforms. Now, there's nothing wrong with having naked women if you want to be that. But if you, then at least those who are going to be interested in that, they should be able to gravitate towards that without any inducement or being the algorithm forcing you to go and gravitate towards that. And that is the problem, because now what that is doing is that it's getting in the way of having discussions like you and I are having now, that is freely expressing ideas to wake us up collectively as a community to be able to deal with the problems that we've been facing for so long. And they are clear ideas of preventing the cohesive community to solve our own problems. So what I've been seeing on many of these platforms, social media platforms, is that they will when you see how naked women or something that's going on, they push the algorithm and people will follow that, and it is a way to distract your mind from what is really going on. And it's like a psychological operation to try and psychologically get you to forget what is going on. And it's like a mass hypnosis. It literally is like a mass hypnosis. I don't think we fully understand, some people don't fully understand what I'm saying here, that we cannot, in Africa, if we're going to build Africa, it's not going to be building the structures on the ground, but it's also about building the structures in our mind. We have to build. You see, if you don't have structures built in your mind, you will not see that reflection on the streets. What is in our minds is scantily clad women and all of that, and please, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm a man. But what I'm saying is that when it comes to building a nation, when it comes to actually having a society that is functioning, we need to be in a place and a platform where we can speak freely, where our words are not, it's not being sanctioned. And what is worse about it is that this is being done. Name any. I'll give you an example. I'm going to name four platforms now: Facebook, Instagram, Xspace, YouTube, Substack. None of them is in Africa. None of them comes from Africa. Meaning that all of us, millions of Africans who are being influenced by these platforms, they are bodies that are outside of Africa that is influencing the minds of the people. Now that means when we're trying to build infrastructure in place, you need to have that for you to, how can I put it? When you are going to build infrastructures on the ground, it has to already be in your mind. So what is in your mind is what will happen on ground. But when you go build my own platform, yes, of course, it's not just my own platform we are talking about, and that is exactly what we're trying to do. So if you support me on this platform, if you subscribe, I'm Giant Ginger Jesus. Of course, that's what we're trying to do. That is why I'm asking people to subscribe to me. So this is it. I'm really glad you said that, Giant Jesus, Giant Ginger Jesus. Fine. It's not about complaining. I'm not relying on exactly. Somebody just said, let me just, Ginger just said something here. And let me, we are planning on building we are working on building our own platform, so that's on building our own platform. So you can see that others who have other ideas about what we're doing here. Okay, so we are working on it, and that is why we're advocating strongly. So you guys, I hope you can see this now. There's a guy called Giant Jesus Ginger who's on here, and he's now said to me, I depend on you. No, no, it's the other way around. Giant Ginger, would you like to come on? Would you like to come on and let us? I'll bring you in. I'm actually going to bring you in and let us have that discussion. I'd love to have that discussion with you. If you want to speak to us, I'm happy. Of course, keep my, I'm happy to discuss with you. Okay, Giant
How
Ginger.
about this question?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Mhm.
Welcome. Greetings, Ginger. What would you like to say?
Yeah, how about this question? You rely on us for absolutely everything, your language, your technology, everything. I could live the rest of my life and will never use anything that is African invented. or
Anything?
comes from Africa.
Anything?
I lived in Kenya
So,
for 18 months.
so hang
I
on.
see you don't produce anything.
Okay,
You
hold
don't
on.
produce a single thing.
I hear
You
you.
take and take and take.
I hear
It's
you.
hard
Hold
for
on.
Stone Age men.
Hold on. You just
I
said
can't
something
hear you,
now.
brother.
Can you hear me?
I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I'm repeating back for
Okay.
some reason. Are you recording me?
No, I'm not recording you. I'm live. 1 second. 1 second. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
You have a real bad connection.
I'm here, but I can hear you loud and clear. I can hear you loud and clear. Can you hear me? Can you?
Yes, I can hear you, but it's repeating.
Okay.
Which means you're recording. Recording.
I'm not screen recording at all. Not on here. I'm not screen recording anything you're saying at all. I am just playing live. This is all live. I'm not. That's all I'm doing. Now, if you can mute your end when I'm talking, let me just mute your end. I'll mute you. So I just say to you. I'm really glad you say that we depend on you for everything. Please explain to me why is it that the West cannot leave Africa alone? Our resources, our gold, our diamond, our bitumen, our all of that.
Easy to explain that.
Sorry?
Give me 1 minute. Can you mute you?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
And everywhere else on the planet that is better. We don't rely on you for anything. Every resource that is found in Africa can be found in every other country in the world. You don't know what to do with those resources.
We do, but we are being stopped. We are being stopped. We are being stopped. We are being stopped from developing our own continent, and that's a fact.
By who?
By the colonials, by the colonial leaders, by the colonial government.
80 years ago,
no. This is still happening. This is still happening right now.
God.
This
Not
is
even
still
in your lifetime when the colonials there.
This is Congo. I'll give you an example. Congo right now. The U.S. is taking cobalt. They're taking
So you
lithium.
don't have agency
They're
or free
taking.
will. You don't have any agency or free will.
Excuse
you have
me?
to rely on everybody
No,
else.
no. We are being. If Africa is left alone, Africa will be fine. The problem is Africa is being meddled with.
Years now, and you're not fine. You're the opposite
Listen,
of fine.
the US just went to Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, and they said they want to be managing their healthcare for them. Why? We can do it ourselves. I'm gonna bring somebody else on board.
You've proven
Hang on.
You've proven time and time.
No.
No.
We're not. Hang on. I'll get somebody to answer you.
Jamaica, and you ruined it in less than a generation.
No, that's you see.
You ruined it in less than a generation.
The giant Gina, you are. That is a projection. You are projecting negativity, and we reject it. You are projecting. You are because of. I am telling you because if you listen to what I've said, everything I've said on this platform is actually to train us to know. Well, in your opinion, that is. Of course, that's your opinion. But for me, what I have been saying is that we need to know who we are. We need to know our history. We need to know what happened. So you cannot listen, Ginger. I've told you now. Excuse me. What did you just say to me?
You don't know who your great grandfathers were.
I know who my grandfather. I know who my great grand. I do.
No,
I have a picture of my great grandfather, and I happen to know I come from a line of kings. I come from a line of kings. No, that's
100 years ago.
You don't. You don't.
My ancestors way back over.
I can equally tell you. I can equally. You see, you're changing narrative. Listen, giving you a fair go. All I know is that on this platform we are here to educate Africans. If you want to listen in, you're welcome. But if you're going to try and listen, that is not for you to. That is for me.
Africa needs engineers.
It doesn't need education. And we have and we
You're
have
lazy people who don't know
and
how
we
to
have,
maintain
well,
things.
you see, that's a condescending attitude that you bring, and I just keep showing that
It's
because
true,
people,
though.
no, it
It's
is not
true.
truth. No, it is not truthful.
It is
In
truth. I've
Burkina
been in
Faso,
Kenya. I lived in Kenya for 18
in
months.
Burkina
It's the
Faso,
epitome of
in
truth.
Burkina Faso right now, there are engineers
It's
that
the
are
worst.
building.
It's one of the
They
worst
are
countries on earth.
creating. They're building roads. They're building bridges. They're building schools.
China
They're
is.
building homes in Burkina Faso. So
China
this
is.
idea, that you're trying to say that Africa can't do anything, I don't buy it. You
They
can
can't.
say it all
They
you
can't.
want.
It's proven
Well,
that they can't.
well,
It's proven
Burkina
time and
Faso is
time again
proving.
that they
But
can't.
Burkina Faso is proving that they are building their own hospitals, their
No,
roads, their
it's proven
schools,
that
their
it's just
bridges.
as useless
So,
and corrupt as every
well,
other African country.
that again, that's a negative.
It's proven that very well.
Listen, thank you very much, Ginger. Okay, listen, I'm gonna just block now. It's enough now. I'm gonna carry on and speak to others. Let me hear from Book Benzi. Go ahead. Let's hear from you. I'm sorry about the echo. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Good evening, sir.
Greetings. Go ahead.
Good evening, the giant too.
Greetings.
Hope you guys are fine.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. I can hear a lot of echo. I don't know whether it is okay. Anyways, I believe my own stand is always about ourselves. We should look inward. Our solution should be open. We don't need to rely on external.
His signal's so bad. He needs white man's Wi-Fi badly.
Oh, okay.
Well, I am on the white man Wi-Fi.
So like you're talking on the radio from the 1800s.
I am on the white man's Wi-Fi.
You are.
Just listen now.
Your
listen.
signal is
You
terrible.
Listen,
The
my
UK, your
signal
signal is
terrible. You're
terrible.
right,
Whereabouts in
right.
Africa are you?
You
Whereabouts
can have
you
glitches.
probably got no
Glitches can
infrastructure.
happen
You
anywhere,
have
my
no
brother.
infrastructure.
Calm
You're
down.
lazy.
I don't know why it's so.
You know what? He wants to try. He's trying to destabilize what we're doing here. Obviously, I've just let him go. There's no point in talking to somebody like that. It's just he wants to.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, go ahead. Carry on. Let's hear from you.
Oh, thank you so much. You see, yeah, like I said, it should be open then with the touch of, borrow too. We can borrow from external forces too.
Yes.
We can borrow what is good about them. We can't, no country operates in isolation. We can't do it all alone, but we can always pick the good sides of their best, you understand? We come to have, you understand? Then I don't like, I am always against people that go with this victim mentality that Africa is not doing well because of
There you go.
colonialism or neocolonialism. I'm not of that opinion. I know, of course, all these guys, when I say guys, I say all these external forces, they like to influence. They are business people. They want to make money off us. So they must make money. If I were to be in their position too, I always look for ways to, make money. Economy. Thank you so much. If I were to be in their shoes, trust me, I always look for the best deal. I won't settle for second best. I'll go for the best deal. It's normal, it's natural. So, but we are sovereign countries too. So, and we are blessed with great minds. We are blessed with killer minds. So what we need to do is just to galvanize ourselves into a colossal force. So we need to tell ourselves the truth. We need to sit down and make progress on our own. Chart our own course. And so we must be able to chart our own course. How do we chart our own course? We need to have a roundtable discussion. We look at ways we can improve on our system. We look at ways how we can,
On that point, Bukenzi. On that point, Bukenzi, quick question. Can you give me one example of how we can do that? I'll give you one. Take any industry, oil, gas, mining, or roads. Give me an example of how that can look, what it looks like, that would look like in Africa. Just give me one example if you don't mind.
Okay, thank you. I believe we've learned enough lessons from the West. I can tell you for free that we are always learning from them. You understand? So, but we need to just, in the aspect of I believe Obasanjo, in our General Obasanjo, in the past, he did the right thing by nationalizing our oil sector. He nationalized, he made sure that we had a bigger stake in the industry. We cannot exploit we need to rely on this the expertise of the West in America. So, but
I'm not so sure that's the case anymore now. There are Bukenzi. I'm
get bigger deals and better deals for ourselves.
Bukenzi.
The ways we can do that is
Bukenzi,
just-
1 second. Bukenzi, 1 second. I'm not so sure that's the case. Oftentimes, a lot of people who are actually very experienced in many fields, they come from Africa. But the problem is they get taken out of Africa. So, for example, in the medical field, there are doctors who are doing amazing things who have been taken out of Africa.
No, that's I want you to speak to that oil. I like you to speak on the oil because
Yeah, I will speak on the oil. I'm just giving you an example.
I don't want us to go on simplistic.
No. I agree with you.
Simplistic.
No, the oil. There are experts, even in the oil industry. There are experts that can do all of that for us on the ground in the continent. The problem is they are not being given airtime or space, so we don't even have to worry.
What about the what's it called? Apart from the capacity,
Mhm.
what about the technical?
Oh,
when I say the technical, the machineries.
Yes,
and the devices
you know,
to work. Do you think we have
yes, no doubt. The problem is, you see, one of the things that we have to understand in Africa is that they often tell us that, for example, I was just giving an example. Facebook now, many people would think that Facebook was created by Mark Zuckerberg on his own. This was a government-designed business structure platform, and then it fell into the hands of Mark Zuckerberg. But it is a US government that actually developed this thing. So the point I'm making,
you are missing it, sir. You are missing.
no, I'm not. I'm trying to tell you that we can.
Like the one I know. And like
Go ahead. Go ahead.
What I feel the government does in America is also provide a kind of template. They provide the template, then they invite private sectors, invite everyone to come and benefit from it.
Oh, you're not understanding. You're not understanding me. They
I'm
actually,
getting you, Sam.
they actually built,
Am I
they
right?
actually built Facebook. They built Facebook, and then they now put it into Mark Zuckerberg's hand. They did. I've got a video about it.
They connected. You see, what Facebook did was also connect the dots. Like what Microsoft did. What it did was also to connect with the source. When I say the source, there was a platform already.
Okay,
So
but
people could just invest and make good out of those sources.
okay. Now,
For example, now look at Facebook. Before Facebook came into being, there was a messenger. There was a Yahoo Messenger. What was Yahoo Messenger? What was it doing? It was just creating a platform for people to interface. But what Facebook was just to improve on that system, make more people connect, make it possible for many people to connect with themselves. So, but the platform was already created. Don't forget that the concept of World Wide Web, it was a concept that was developed, I think, in the mid-90s or early 90s. So what they did was it was a process. That process is always, the enabling environment that the government created was also to create a platform. So everybody could now build on that platform. The platform, in this instance now, there was a satellite. Like I said, there was a signal. I forgot now. There was a signal. There was a satellite. There was like a satellite that is one laptop and benefit. Government must create that structure. If there's no structure, if there's nothing in a source, trust me, people will not connect them with anything. Like for example now, let's say if the government provide, let's say technical hubs, ACT hubs all over the country. What the youth will do is just to connect with those sources. So the source will now be the technical hub. So people can now build on that technical hub and be making exploits.
they
You can create more.
hold on. I think we are getting too technical here. I actually wanted to get to the bare bones of how to make a system work. Because if what you're saying now is the things are where people are now going to specifics of investors, consultancy, project managing, and all of that. Those are layers on top of the foundation. The thing that we don't have in Africa is that the foundation of actually building something, to actually have a format whereby anything it has the same format. Give you an example. Just in Iran, for example, they have a format now of defending themselves. They have their own structures of actually making sure that they can build their own weapons, whatever it may be, because they understand the concept of having their own security. So it's then you can now talk about the layers of, okay, you're going to have investors or put out tenders or project managing and all of that. But the foundation of that is that they actually have a core idea of, okay, we have the resources, we're going to turn that into something to provide security. So I think we need to be talking about that more, so that it makes it, you see, when we start talking about it from the point of view of intellectual kind of thinking, we are putting out a lot of people, we are putting a lot of people will not want to get involved in that. We have to make that system very flexible so that the people who are on ground, they can be part of it from the ground up, and grow with it.
Yeah.
So
I think, like, can I take it from there? I think I can relate with what we're saying right now. Now, in the sense that I can use something I know very well. It happens in the West, and I think what's it called? It started in what's this guy's name? Particular's era.
okay,
Let me speak it about agriculture.
good,
Government
good.
Tried to create a structure that youth can actually latch on, that
Mhm.
can actually benefit the youth.
Mm.
Example of that is agriculture. If you go to a place called Haraga, I believe the government of Fashola, they sat down, created a structure
Mm-hmm.
that could serve the whole Southwest. What was the structure? They sat down, they went to Haraga, they designed a farm. Okay, look at this farm, we're going to work on our strengths.
Mm-hmm.
If you go to Lagos State, their strength is, I think, their area of core competence, area of comparative advantage. Their
Mhm.
strength is also on, they have limited land.
Mhm.
They have limited land to actually price agriculture. So now they now decided that in their own zone, that they're going to work on their strength. Their strength being poultry and aquaculture. Lagos waterways can always leverage on that and probably create a system from it. Now they said they're going to create aquaculture and broiler production.
Mm-hmm.
What did they do?
Mm-hmm.
They set up a farm.
Mm-hmm.
They brought technical people
Mm-hmm.
to design a farm for them. A farm that would design.
Mm-hmm.
So what did they do? They went to Israel. They were able to bring the kind of structure they have in Israel, Nigeria. The kind of structure, I forgot the name. That means like a kind of community farming.
Mm-hmm.
So more people can come to farm, more youth can come in. They make agriculture so common, it's so pleasant,
Mm-hmm.
so technological, aesthetic.
Mm-hmm.
So they make it so nice. They call them computer kind, laptop kind farmers.
Okay.
That means that
Yeah.
you are true as a youth to join them. So the whole concept was just to bring innovation, cutting edge agricultural practice
Mm-hmm.
to Iraga, and they did that. I recall that they brought this big farm. There is this a facility.
Mm-hmm.
They brought a facility that could actually take, I think, of 10,000 beds at a go.
Mm-hmm.
That facility, they brought a structure. That structure had a kind of what was it called? A ventilator, a big
Mhm.
ventilator. It had heating system. It had so many things. So what they did was just to invite young minds to come and to come and learn and operate these things.
Okay.
So the concept was just to create farmers. When they create farmers, those youth, they create youthful farmers.
Mhm.
Youthful farmers.
Okay.
When they produce, they send it to the market. So, but there was an issue. The issue was this: they could not control the market. The market was full with different competitors. You had different players rather. You have players coming from northwest, east, and north. You are going to the same market. So obviously there will be overflooding of the market
Mm-hmm.
with agricultural produce.
Mm-hmm.
And don't forget, agricultural produce in sense will be eggs and meat, dollar meat, and to cut the whole matter, to cut those story short, government failed in one respect. The only respect that they feel was just that they don't really control the market. But when they knew that they were not going to control the market, they were supposed to regulate it the way, or they were supposed to buy the produce from them so that the whole enterprise will be continuous. But because of the fact that when they started production, they were producing, but there was no market to take off their produce, And the market
Okay.
that were even available, they were not offering the kind of price by their effort.
Yeah,
So you can see all
Mhm.
these lapses, you can see all these gaps. So, but a serious government will look into all these things and correct it. And those things are correctable. It's not something that that you have to be a rocket scientist to correct.
I,
You understand? These are the issues. You need to sit down. We need to sit down and plan. If you don't plan, you understand, we keep on talking and talking. These issues could be solved. I remember.
Very good point. Very good point. Just to.
I remember.
One
Let me
second.
just drop this. I remember.
1 second. 1 second. I want to just make you think of what is happening in Burkina Faso right now, Mali and Niger. They are building good roads. They are building schools. The farmers are being heavily supported. They are self-sufficient in onions, in beans, in potatoes. They're having hospitals done. This is the blueprint for success. And we need to, I think sorry?
He said, he said, I think Yemi Osinbajo said it was a campaign slogan. He said it and I heard him. He said, we empower the youth to go to the farm when they buy from them.
Exactly.
When he said that, he knew that there was something that was doable. I tell you for free that throughout their 8 years, they did not practice that. They just doing their stuff.
But right now, let's focus on not just Nigeria alone, because there's other people from other parts of Africa as well. But I'm thinking, the thing I'm really keen to do is to begin to let us look at what can work on the African continent and how can we inculcate that in our community so that we all begin to think along those lines. 1 second, please. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I think we've learned enough. We can always, like I said, we can always learn from this Western world or better, better civilizations. It's not a deal at all.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
be able to cooperate at the top.
Okay.
For example, I think what's it called? Industries now. This is stopping us from creating values for most of our products.
Brilliant point. On that point, just on that point, in Burkina Faso right now, they're turning tomatoes into tomato paste and they're selling it. Actually, they've been selling it in the Alliance of Sahel states, and that is so they're making big from tomatoes into tomato paste, and they're selling it. And they're trying to encourage others to do other things, using our oranges to make our own soft drinks and all of that, instead of importing it. So those are really simple things that we can do as well in Nigeria. We don't have to the idea of importing all of these things from.
I can tell you for free. That most of our policymakers, they are aware of these things.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you for free that we have brilliant minds in our government cycle.
Yeah.
I can tell you for free. We have brilliant people, as in extraordinary brilliant people.
So what's holding us back then? What's holding us back?
I feel there are some other complexities that we cannot really break down.
Okay.
I think there are some complexities that we cannot really break down. Those things are way too complex because you know why I say this? Because if Tinubu was part of that, President Tinubu was part of that experience I just told you, because it was his boys were the one, handling the whole thing. But at the end of the day, that's Araga, what's it called?
Farming.
Araga experience.
Yeah.
Araga farming, Araga community did not live up to his billing.
Okay. Now, okay, I mean, only for time purposes. I'm really grateful for your insight and for sharing your thoughts there. But going forward, in terms of security, what are you? I'm going to ask a question about Iran. Iran has surprised everybody by being able to defend itself, even though it's under attack. It's been able to make sure that the US has not been able to actually, overrun it. And in fact, it's controlling the Strait of Hormuz. Now that is saying that only countries that agree to trade in yuan will trade their oil in yuan will be allowed to go through. That is enough, a lot of control, isn't it? I wonder what your thoughts are on that.
Literally passionate about that too. But we are hearing all sorts of news. You understand? I don't know which one to actually.
Oh, this one is actually a fact. The mainstream actually carried this, that they've actually carried it, that the US, none of them are able to go through. It's only those who agree to trade in yuan and are being allowed through. And anybody that tries to go circumvent it, they get dealt with. And that is enough. That is yeah. Go ahead.
Still study. To me, we should still study the news.
Okay.
The event. To me, I believe that because the last time I checked, I learned that Trump said he was going to police the whole Strait of Hormuz.
But it's not. But it's not. He can't police it because he can't police
and
it.
he's deploying troops. He's deploying troops to those areas too.
Yeah, but the
They're
thing.
only clearing the mines that the Iranian regime
Okay.
put in those places.
Okay. But so far.
It's something that we can only speculate.
Okay. Okay. One more thing before I let you go. The fact that Iran is able to defend itself very, very strongly, is that something that we can learn in Africa? Does that not point to the fact that in Africa, unless we have our own defense, any ideas of building any infrastructure or anything is a pie in the sky? Because I'm hearing that many other countries.
At what expense, sir?
But whatever the expense, whatever the expense. If
you don't mind about if they have the moral authority, in the country.
Do you think the US have moral authority to go and invade another country?
Oh, of course. I think they've been.
So they have the. So
second God, don't forget what they did.
So hang on. So no, hold on. So are you saying to me that it is okay for the US to go into any country it chooses and decide to change the government if it's not to their liking?
No, but sir, don't forget what you need to study the history between the Iranian regime and the US. Don't forget that when they left, when 1979 revolution, I think what was it called? Iranian regime. They went to They went to their embassy, and they were able to. They bombed the embassy. They got 44 men for like they got them for like 4 days rather. What I'm trying to say is they've always had an history between them.
Okay.
Between them, Iran and.
Yes.
Don't forget that they've attacked their interests for many years. They've attacked their personnel.
Hang on, I hear you, but I'm asking that question.
Between them. Then don't forget, don't forget that Iran is actually building, what's it called? Iranian capacity, nuclear weapon capacity. And if they possess that, it's going to be.
Okay. So I'm just asking a simple question. Do you think Iran has the right to actually protect itself or not?
Oh, Iran is a sovereign state. They have the right to protect themselves and the citizens too.
Okay. All right. That's fine. Thank you very much, Bokenzi. I'm going to...
Let me add this.
Yes, go ahead.
Let me ask. Okay, the point, even if they have the right, do you think it's fair for them to keep themselves in power without having the consent of the citizens? Like they don't have
Okay. Okay. Can you can you honestly tell me that the people who are in Saudi Arabia have the consent of the people who are that they're ruling?
No, sir, they don't.
Right. But the same people are being given whatever they want by the US. They are being given whatever they want. And they can remain in power for as long as they want. So why is it okay the government that the US looks away when it comes to them, but then they start giving Iran?
No, sir, but
It's a
you
double
agree-
standard,
you
isn't
agree
it?
with me. Okay, it's like double standard.
It is.
Yeah,
It is double
But
standards.
do you think? Yeah, it's double standard. But if you go to Saudi Arabia, are the governing authorities suppressing people's?
Very much so. Khashoggi. Let me give you. They are Khashoggi. There's a guy called
I'm
Khashoggi.
not talking about one or two.
No.
I'm talking about-
The system, the system there suppresses the people. There are so many. I mean, it's built on oppression, but the US looks the other way. It's built on oppression.
Oh, yeah, I agree, but they are actually reforming their.
No, they're not.
Yeah.
No, they are not. Okay, you know what?
I won't speak for Saudi Arabia. Honestly, I won't speak for Saudi Arabia. I can speak for Iran that
Yeah.
Iran has not really done well to our own people.
So-
Iranian regime has
so-
not really
so-
done well to their own people.
So,
In the sense
did
that
you hang on?
if you check
Hang on.
UN records,
Hang on.
the whole history is there.
Okay, 1 second. Do you know that Iran, they actually, when during that Iran crisis, when they actually took hostages, Iran let go of all of the black hostages because of how the US was treating black people, still treating black people in the US. Did you know that?
Oh, I have never read about the
Ah,
racist,
so-
racist card that they play.
No. It wasn't a
Or
racist
the
card.
gender, or the. Or
Oh,
is
no,
it
no.
that-
Okay,
or the-
listen, Bokenzi,
that they play that-
Bokenzi.
I'm reading that for the first time.
Bokenzi, if you go and research it, you would. It's very interesting. A lot of people don't know that, and they actually said that
But it
because.
didn't count now. It didn't count. It didn't count for anything, sir.
Okay, well, okay.
It
Listen,
was just to. It was just to project something that was not even.
so are you saying? Okay, let me ask this question. Let me ask this question. And I'll go to hit none. Right now, the U.S. is saying that they're surprised that that Iran, that they told all those who are our neighboring countries that if you keep allowing the U.S. to use your country to attack us, we will attack you. And they actually did it. Is that wrong of them to do?
No, you are just speaking to the surface, sir. There are some other things that are
Okay.
connected to it.
Okay.
Like example, don't forget that Iran has always sponsored groups, militants against
Okay.
these, sovereign countries too.
And
Don't
what
forget
has the
the
US
men-
and what has
the
the
men-
US been doing around the world? Have they not been sponsoring groups?
No. Oh, is it like a water baptism now?
No, it isn't. I'm just asking. You see, when you, but you see, Kenzie, it's just there is a thing here. We cannot accept somebody to tell us that this is the law, but the same person ignores the law and gets away with it, and no, he doesn't suffer the consequences. But the same person expects everybody else to suffer the consequences. That is double standards. Listen, Bokenzi, thank you so much. I'm going to come back to you. Let me go and hit none is dying to speak to me. But thank you for your discussion there, and I enjoy, even though we have a slightly different perspective on it, it's nonetheless engaging. I love speaking to you, and we'll do that again. Hit none, welcome.
Yes, sir, it's a pleasure, sir. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Okay, go ahead, hit none. Hi, hit none. Are you there? It's gone off. Okay, let me bring African Revolution. I'm going to bring him in. I'll bring in Lady Marx.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Hello?
Yes. Yeah, I hear you. Yes, go ahead. I hear you. Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, welcome.
Okay. Greetings to everybody.
Greetings.
Thank you. People who are pro-West, all the time when they'll come and exhibit their ignorance. And when they are asked to prove beyond ordinary doubt, they start fumbling. It is very true that there's no any law that legit the United States to be the police of the world.
Mm-hmm.
There's no law on this earth. And there's no any superpower on this earth beside the creator.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So if you claim to be the world oppressed, number one, you have gotten it wrong. That the blood of the people that you are dwelling will come to an end.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the time for the oppressor to collapse. And this is the time. Mark my words.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the so-called the police of the world denying others to have their sovereign decision is the same person going around to bombard other nations with the same nuclear weapon. Hiroshima and Nagasaki, who went and bombarded? Who was the first person on this earth to use that weapon?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Who was the first person?
Yeah.
And you are claiming that Iran is a threat to US, and you are not it to others. This is double standard. This is clear double standard. So if truly...
Go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
You claim Iran don't have that right.
Oh, I think we're having problems. Can you hear me?
To produce his...
Carry on. Oh, there might be a network issue
own
here.
nuclear weapon, then you should leave an example to learn from you. You know, sometimes difficult to figure it out that the so-called United States, who together with its allies. Hello, can you hear me?
I hear you, but it comes and going. It's coming and going somewhat.
Hello?
I hear you. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello, I hear you. Can you hear me? Okay, I think it's having a problem. I'll bring you back out.
Oh, my network.
Okay. Yeah, it's got network issues. Once I'm bringing him back, Lady Max, welcome. What would you like to say? Thank you very much. It's been a while. Would you like...
Yeah.
Greetings. Welcome.
Greetings, and thank you. I agree with everything that you said, and I feel very disturbed a bit, I suppose is the best word I can find. You hit the nail on the head earlier when you said that, you know, our minds, if we use their infrastructure, our minds are then kind of filled and shaped by the things that they feed it. And then when you hear it being repeated back at you, their narrative, their kind of, the things they want us to believe, it's really quite disturbing.
Yep.
I feel like we have to have some kind of mental cleansing. The idea that we should have our own platform is absolutely correct. We have the ability, in terms of the knowledge, at least, how many engineers, and not just engineering is a very broad spectrum, right? We've got chemical engineers, we've got electrical engineers. We can do this. But if we were to, let's just say we were to do it, would we be allowed to access that space? Because, you know, you need satellites, you need all sorts of things to make this thing work. And this is where that dominance, that colonial dominance, supersedes those ideas. But it doesn't stop us from trying, but our service by the US or whoever, you know? And that's where I think we need to start, really at the root of being creative for ourselves. Exactly.
I think this is a very, in fact, the discussion is going in the direction it needed to go, because a lot of people don't understand that if you, when you are in a situation whereby you are dependent on a system to actually build anything, then you are actually ultimately beholden to that system. What we need is to actually have a period where we're going to be doing a joint work whereby we're developing our own system and even relying on them for a short while until ours is fully operational. That's what they've done in Burkina Faso right now. In Burkina Faso, they were relying on a lot of stuff in terms of on Russia, and now they're doing a lot of that work and they're building their own themselves. So over time, they will become self-sufficient. And I think once we can understand the concept of self-sufficiency, it solves this problem once and for all, because there will be a period in that self-sufficiency where you will depend on the system, but what you are replacing it with is gradually manifesting, and then over time it supersedes that current prevailing system. And that is the mindset that I'm hoping that by speaking like we do on platforms like this, that we can actually bring that mindset out into the open, get us comfortable talking about that. Because I'm afraid like you said, when I heard Bokenzi now speaking, it does worry me. The general acceptance, when the word that Bokenzi used was when he said the police of the world, and no nation has that right. No,
That's right.
no nation has that right. Just like my brother Hate None said, his network was not very good. I'm going to try if I can bring him back. So I think it is really important, the discussion that we're having here, that our people understand that we must be the authors of our own success, of our own stories. We can no longer be bystanders. We've been programmed to be bystanders in what is happening in the world. And we think, oh, it's happening over there. But it will have direct impact on us if we don't take cognizance of the fact of what is happening. Example, what is happening in Iran right now? It is going to cascade down to Africa. If any reason, and I don't see how that's going to happen, if Iran sort of folds and whatever, that's the next thing they will do, because that's where the resources are that they want. But with Iran showing us what we can do now, we need to take that on board and drop the shackles, on the African continent, and actually begin to do the thing you said here. We have to make sure that those structures, we protect it going forward, so that we don't want a backdoor entry whereby they're controlling things. One of the things I had, they were selling, the US sells weapons to African countries, and they have a KILL switch that if they decide that they don't want to use that weapon, they can switch it off and you can't use it. And that's not secure. And often African countries will spend billions of dollars to buy these weapons, only for it to not be able to use at whoever. And that is why I am advocating strongly that we have to build our own structures of defense, of capabilities. And we don't even have to worry. Go ahead.
I totally agree. I'm just in support of everything you've just said. One of the previous contributors, the ginger person, was talking about us not having anything, us not doing anything, alluding to the fact that we were lazy. But, when you look at it on a fundamental level, where in the world do we as a people create arms? We don't create arms. Nowhere. They make the arms and we end up having to buy them. Like you said, they supply the material. They put their back doors in with their switches and what have you. And we're kind of reliant on that. But that's not the nature of us as a people.
Yeah.
So perhaps, to continue into the 21st century and beyond, we might have to start looking at creating our own armory. I completely 100% support Burkina Faso, but yet their military support systems and things that they need to keep themselves safe, they also have to import in from the colonialists, right? So, where do we start? This is a real blank
very good point.
Playing field that we do have to address in terms of our own security. If you breach your own security, you've got no one else to blame.
Exactly.
And with this open door policy where, everything, any major element like protection devices, if you have to buy them from the enemy, you're almost shooting yourself in the foot, right? So
exactly.
Good good for Iran that they've got that amount of technology and backdrop to be able to defend themselves in the way that they are doing, right? So yeah, I mean, I completely 100% agree with 90% of what I've heard on here today, 100% from you, because you're hitting the nail on the head. We do need to be able to be our own producers and direct our own future. And I'll leave it at that.
Thank you so much, Lady Max. Always a pleasure speaking to you. I'll be back again on the radio program and I was engaging. It's been engaging. I actually listened back to it. Really, and I'd love to come back again. And I want to bring
you're
you
more
back.
than welcome.
So
if you're free on Friday, you can join me.
Okay, I will. Let me check my diary on the Friday, and I'll be in touch. Well, I'll give you a call later. I quite like the idea. Yeah. Okay.
Perfect.
Okay.
Until then.
Okay. Thank you. Oh, they've blocked me again. These people. Yeah. Okay. Now, thank you so much for that. Hit None, are you back now? I think you're back. I've been blocked again on TikTok. Please, those of you watching, please give the platform. Thank you very much, Wumi, for the gift as well. Thank you so much. Those of you watching, please give the platform, help us grow the platform, and we appreciate your gifts. Thank you. So, yeah, Hit None, go ahead. Go ahead. Hit None, are you there?
Okay, thank you very much. As I was saying, my network is not that stable.
Yeah, yes.
So you pardon me.
Okay.
As I was saying, it is very clear that the United States is known to be a bully and an international gangster, especially their head. You know, what he's doing actually, he's serving a precedence for others to also do same. You know, looking at the foundation of the United States is built with the blacks. And it's through the blood of the humans that America is today America. But he believes that through crisis of such enables him to build his economy. And he has gotten it wrong with the Iranians because they are people of resilience and there's no any amount of pressure you put on them for them to surrender or bow down to your terms. Iranians will never bow down. Will never bow down to the terms of the world. The Iranians got these lessons by building their own capacity at the time of the Afghanistan and then Iraq war. About 2 decades ago, they started building their capacity. And today we see the effect and the efficiency of their missiles that are flying in the sky, dismantling and pounding on the enemy. You know, it is very true that we as an Africans must also learn on how to build our capacity because we can't be consumers. When an enemy just jump on us, how do we defend ourselves or protect ourselves? This is the right time for us to build our capacity for the future because we don't know what the future may bring. So that when you have that capacity, no one can just jump on you and start bullying you. You know, the Iranians, according to history, are people of resilience. And at the time, this leader that they unalive just recently, he was in the nuclear program that was peaceful nuclear program where Americans sent their experts and the world even sent their experts to go and investigate to see how true it is. But when they were, it wasn't anything harmful. But because of the propaganda of the Western world, they want to paint Iranians black so that they can easily kill the cat. You know, when you want to kill a cat, you have to give the cat a bad name so that you can easily kill that cat. So this is what they intend to do. And their intention is to change a regime.
Greetings all and welcome to Citizen Network, the platform where we speak. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead, carry on.
They've gotten it wrong because the plan that they had to change that regime is not working. And you see, the Iranian revolution is built in a way that even if you take one out, the one that is coming to take over will be more severe than the one you have even taken out. So that ideology or that mind that when they take up their leaders, their empire will collapse or the regime will collapse. They've gotten it wrong. The entire 90 million people of the Iranians, all of them are revolutionaries. And there's no way you'll be able to let them come down to your terms. You see, just recently, just unalive one of their heads. Was it his name that I've forgotten? Just recently, I think 2 or 3 days now. They were the strategy of taking up their leaders is to suppress the regime that is going on now. They want to make sure that that regime does not exist, and they will be able to control the region. You see, the Israelis and then the Americans, they have gotten a lot of privileges from the Gulf. When you look at the Gulf, most of the businesses that America is doing, he cannot do the same businesses in Europe.
No.
He can't do that fucking shit businesses in Europe. He can't do it. He dare not. But he has gotten that privilege to do those businesses, and he's milking the people within the Gulf. Because of them from the Saudi Arabia that he has signed with them, making his currency to be the world's highest denomination. This is what has enabled America to build his economy through that petrodollar currency. And this is the right time for the Arabians to also come together and understand that the one they call for support or for the one that they call to come and protect them has even failed them for the first place. If truly they are there to protect them, why is it that their bases all have been dismantled? Their so-called Iron Dome cannot even defend them. All of them have been dismantled. So now the strategy of the Iranian now, I was very pleased the way they took the Strait of Hormuz. Because before you can sail with your vessel, then you have to trade with the Chinese yuan. You have to trade with the Chinese currency and abandon the dollar. And this is very clear. And it will help Iranian, it will help the Chinese also, economic wise. You see, so America, what he's doing, he has gotten everything wrong because his calculation of unaliving Ayatollah Khamenei is not working. And they themselves have conceded the fact that it's not working. So in order to avoid shame, they want to push. And I know, and I strongly believe that America can never win this battle. For this battle, they will never win it. They'll be defeated and they will surrender totally. You see? Hello, can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me now?
I hear you. Carry on.
Okay.
Go ahead. I'm listening.
Okay. So as I'm saying, the United States, known to be a bully nation, cannot survive with that chaos. Because through chaos that he builds his economy. And this is the time for United States to calm down. The economy, if this war continues for a certain number of months or years, the economy of America will crash down.
Indeed. Yes.
Will totally crash down. Because the weapon that they are spending in bringing out even it cost them millions. A 20,000 drone destroying Abraham Lincoln, how much money does it cost for them to put up that vessel? Millions of dollars. And 1,000 drone dismantling. Where is so-called your sophisticated weapon? The so-called sophisticated weapon that you have, and a common drone can destroy it. It tells you that your army is shaking. The weapons that you claim to have so being sophisticated, it's not all that. It's not powerful.
No,
it's not powerful. You see, so my advice to the rest of Africans is to start building the capacity because we
Exactly.
don't know what the future may hold.
Exactly.
If
Well
we
said.
sit aloof and allow these people, the one that we call them to be our partners, we call them to be our partners in terms of crisis, like what is happening in Nigeria, even in Ghana, where we sign a military pact with America to come and put up their logistic base in Ghana. All these things
It's a fail.
are elusive,
Yeah.
but rather they are there to take information.
Mm-hmm.
They are there to take information to what? To oppress us. You see, it is clear for Africans to learn from this crisis that is going on in the Middle East, to understand that United States cannot protect any one of them. They can never protect. Have they been able to protect themselves? Why are you calling for allies to come and aid you? Why are you calling for allies to come and aid you? And wisely enough, the NATO members rejected the appeal. Rejected it. And that is good for them. Because when you look at the budget of the United States, you have a giant budget. So why are you calling the rest of your members who have the less budget to come and aid you? On what basis are they going to aid you? Even the United States Navy, they have the biggest navy. Which navy do they have? The allies that he has and he's calling on. How many navies do they have? And how many vessels do they have? The war vessels that they have? None.
Yeah.
So if you claim to be superpower, why are you not going to tackle it your own? Fight alone. This tells you that a joint military force, the Israelis and the American, they are not superpower. They are powerless in the sense that one nation being able to withstand any pressure of two nations. It tells you that they are nothing but a toothless bulldog. All this oppression that is going on, it is calculated to dominate in the Middle East. This is all that they want. They want to dominate in the Middle East so that they can continue to milk and milk to their satisfaction. And indeed, they've gotten everything upside down. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Well said. I am really glad that you said everything you said there. You covered everything, to be honest, even down to the idea of making sure that we are not relying on people that cannot defend. They say, show me your friends and I'll show you who you are. You know, is that saying. The other thing is, of course, with all of the empty promises that they're making, that they've got the best defense in the world, look all over the Mediterranean, you know, the UAE. Let me list the names of the countries that have been affected. Let me see. Let me just make sure I get. So UAE, Saudi Arabia, UAE, so many, 7 of them have been impacted, and all of them had US defense systems. So what does that tell you? As Africans, you know, why are the guys hiding in the bunkers? Thank you. Exactly. So that tells us.
Why are the guys, Iranian regime, as they are guys, why are they running? Why are they hiding in bunkers?
Oh, you're talking. Oh, right. No. Okay. Hang on. Okay. Why is Israel? Why are Israeli leaders? Why are they running, going in bunkers? Why? They're both. Look, they're both doing it. They're both doing it.
I asked a question.
Yeah, I'm going to answer you, and I'm trying to answer you. Now, the thing is this: they're not all. You know, they came out the other day. The leaders came out, and when you are being targeted, try and understand this, my Bokenzi. The fact of the matter is that Iran is not going to the US to attack any US officers or UN generals, but the US and Israel are coming to Iran's land. You need to understand what is going on. They haven't got the right to go and invade another country. That is against the charter of the UN. That is why the UK, France, and Germany, they cannot come out and say we are supporting them. That is the evidence that you need. You don't have.
No, sir, but
No, it's not. No, sir.
Would you agree with me that in 1983 they unalived several members of the American military?
Okay, how many Iraqi officials have the U.S. and Israel
More than 100.
I'm saying right now, how many of them are on alive right now? They've gone in Iraq. They've gone in and unalived over 100. The U.S.
Then don't forget that UN convention. There's a UN convention that Iran is a signatory to. They are not supposed to enrich their uranium.
No, listen. The UN Charter does not give the U.S. the right to go and invade another country. It does not. Let me read it to you.
When they have the nuclear capacity,
are
they supposed to sit down and fold their hands?
They are listen. Okay. Listen. Do they go? My brother, do they go to North Korea? What does the U.S. do when it comes to North Korea? Do they go to try and do anything to them?
North Korea does not.
What?
North Korea does not possess any threat to.
What?
North Korea does not possess any threat.
Have they got weapons or not? Have they got weapons or not?
They have weapons.
Right, they have the nuclear weapon, and that is why the US don't mess with them. Now, Iran has never tried to get it, but now I can guarantee you, after what's gone on now, if Iran decides to get it, nobody can stop them.
They've always attacked
No.
US interests.
Oh my
and
goodness.
The state of Israel. They want the
No.
destruction of the state of Israel.
Oh.
So are you telling me that they should just fold their hands and allow them to be taken out of the...
I think what we need to do is hang on. HTVs, 1 second, please.
I'm asking a question. Would you want them to just fold their hands and be
right now, unless anybody, Iran has never started any attacks against Israel or US, but they have both been attacking Iran repeatedly. They've taken out people in Iran. They've sent in people to destabilize the government. What are they expected to do? Iran standing on its own. They're not, but they are going against them. What do you say? Are they?
Are you saying, sir? Are you saying that in 2023, when they unalived Masha Amini, was it the US that instigated that? Masha Amini.
Listen, my brother. You're just, you see, trying to pick one area and talk about one specific and not looking at the whole picture.
But
they don't. The US has. Hang on, 1 second. Let me read you the UN Charter. I'm going to get the UN Charter out for you so you can understand. Even the UK does not support the action of the US in invading Iran. They don't. UN Charter prevents countries from prevent anybody from invading a sovereign nation. It does. And if you once you ignore that charter, then there's no point. In fact, right now the UN is useless now. Because everybody is now saying
can you read uranium enrichment?
Yeah, but that was a law written by anybody can write anything. Unless and until it is a generally accepted thing that where all of us are this has been forced on everybody. This is a one-sided body that's been written. No, it is a one-sided body. It's one-sided. That's not.
You're happy to read the.
I'm gonna read it. But listen, the IAEA.
But let's speak about UN Charter.
Listen.
On nuclear enrichment.
Listen, Bukenzi, let me tell you something. Right now, the UN is very, very skewed. And I'll tell you why. There are three reasons why the UN is very, very, very skewed. The three reasons are, one reason that the UN, the veto powers of 3 nations is making the UN very, very undemocratic. The veto powers of UK, the veto powers of US, and the veto powers of France. Those 3 countries, whatever anybody in the world says, the whole 54 African nations, when they say we want actually better, we want to actually take control of our own affairs on the African continent, UK can veto against it. France can veto against it. US can veto against it.
Let's ask the question.
I'm asking you a question. No, let me finish. Hang on. Let me finish. Hang on, let me finish. You have to wait. In that situation, when the UN and those who wrote, the people who wrote the UN, guess who they are? UK, France, US. So they have never let go of the powers. There has been no democratic transfer of powers to make sure that the world, Africa does not have one permanent UN security, permanent person on security vote. Not one in 54 nations. That is unjust. That organization in entirety is designed to ensnare, to entrap, and to never prevent, and to prevent people who want to protect themselves from taking action to do so, because they control the power base. And that is what we have to really understand. You see, you need to begin to question everything that's been told. That's why you just demonstrated exactly why this platform has been here. This platform is designed for you to question everything you've been told, because they tell you half stories. The UN was created out of the League of Nations. Please go and do the research. The report that they used, League of Nations, that was created for Europe, they just simply moved the paperwork and wrote UN on it. And the powers, and they knowing fully well that it was for Europe. And what we have to understand, and if we're going to have a better world, we need a body that truly represents the entire world. The UN powers keeps the powers in the hands of Europeans. And it keeps non-Europeans out of the power. And that is why they're doing what they're doing all over the world. And until that changes, my brother, nothing is going to change. You need to do a lot more research. If you're going to speak about this, you are taking everything that they said. And that's the thing. They've conditioned many of us to think that whatever they say is golden. Yes, the UN, the United Nations, is an extension of the EU. So unless my brother, I need you to think.
It's not about conditioning.
It is conditioning. It is conditioning. Because you are here.
Say that? Because can I say that? Can I land on this? Because I believe that no sovereign country is forced to become a member of NATO. You can decline, if they offer, you can decline. Or is it our countries forced to be members of UN? So you have to abide by their rules
and the UN and US have broken the laws. US has broken the laws of the UN hang on. I'm saying to you that the UN, the question is, of course you are free to join, you're free to leave. But the fact of the matter is that the conditions that they place you in, the US can place sanctions on any country in the world. If you leave the UN, because of the currency that we're using around the world now, the US can decide to sanction your country. That means that your people are literally going to starve. So that is not fair. That is one of the reasons why we are trying to, many countries want to make sure that there's no longer the dollar controlling the world. So when there is no real power to live, as you're saying. You need to understand look, it's a facade. The UN is a facade. US controls everything. If you don't do what the US tells you to do, they can sanction your country. That means that the money, because of the currency that they use, and that's why they're so scared right now. They're so scared that the whole world, if we don't use the dollar to trade, they have zero control on the world. They have zero control. So the currency underpins the military force. The most important, the first thing they use when they're coming to you, when they're going to deal with the country, they first start with the currency. They start restricting your access to healthcare medicines, to food, to construction, to development. But they don't tell you this. That's what they do. That is what the entire policy of the West is about, restricting the development of countries via sanctions. If the sanctions don't work, then they bring the military. That is what is going on. And now that structure is now fit, they can no longer, control. I need you to understand that the action taken by Iran is monumental. And I'd like you to think beyond the box, Bukensi, because you sound to me like a man that's got a lot of thinking and a lot of ideas. But your thinking has been, you see, the system shapes clever minds. Once they see clever mind, that system targets it and shapes it to think only within the box that places it. And I'm afraid that's what you're doing. I need you to think outside this box, because where you've spoken.
There's a dilemma that you failed to give me an answer. I spoke about Iranian regime having the moral standard. Authority to rule their
Okay. Tell me this. Tell me this. Tell me this. What moral authority has the US got to unalive 5 million children in Iraq? What moral authority? No. Answer. What moral authority? They have none. They have none, and they have not apologized to today. Yes. Madeleine Old in Iraq, I said, in Iraq. Madeleine Albright said, oh, it was worth it. She didn't apologize. Madeleine, there's a video. She said it was worth it to unalive 500,000 children, 5 million children.
That was our opinion, and you can
it's not. She was speaking on behalf of the US government, because she was at a conference and she spoke. She spoke in the place of a US government. This is not an opinion. Look, Bukenzi. No. It's not. Okay. No, it was not. Libya. They said, Libya. No, it's very true. Libya. Look at what happened in Libya. They destroyed Libya. They completely destroyed Libya till today. Libya is not right. Look at what happened in Syria. Look at what happened in Syria. No, of course you have to say that.
These things were precipitated by
revolution. By who?
The revolution.
No. This was instigated. This was
Arab Spring.
Listen, Obama said, oh, we didn't plan this. We didn't plan for succession planning after we took out.
My friend.
Listen, my brother. Listen, my brother. You have to do, Bukenzi. I really need you to do some research about what you're told. Okay? So for now,
I was old enough to understand what happened in 2011.
Yeah, but you need to understand. You need to understand the context in which you're. The context in which you're writing. No, my brother. Hang on. Just go and look at Obama's speech on that, and that will tell you that the U.S. were involved on unaliving Gaddafi, and they had no right to do so. Yet again, that's another infringement of sovereignty.
I'm a little bit disturbed.
Well, you can be disturbed, but I think you need to.
You know why?
The facts. Why?
You have failed to acknowledge the fact that there was an Arab Spring.
No, there was not. It was instigated by the U.S. Is what I'm telling you.
Wow.
It was instigated by the U.S. Yes. Listen. Because they didn't want him. They didn't want you. They did. Listen. You no. Actually, you Google that, my brother. I'm not gonna do that work for you. You're gonna go and just check it. The Arab Spring was instigated by the West.
Let me tell you what happened.
No. We don't need to do that now. I haven't got time for that. Please. Listen, my brother. We can't do that now because I need to focus on the topic I brought, and we need to stick with that. But I thank you for your time. Let me go ahead. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, so I am going to say this now. I just need to, ladies and gentlemen, if you ask and wonder why we need platforms like ours, this is an example of what you've heard Bukenzi say. I'm not saying for you to take my word for anything that I've been saying. What I'm saying is I need you to get the opportunity to question everything around you. Because if you don't question anything around you, you will accept everything that you're told. Right now, in the world that we're in now, you need to be questioning everything that you've ever learned. From your Bible to your history to your education to the organizations to the IMF, the World Bank, you question everything. This platform is for you if you want to know more about what the world is really like. Because if you are not careful, if you go along with what they've told you, the script they put in front of you, you will believe a completely false world. They're painting a false narrative for you. And that is why with platforms like that, we need your support. As you're watching me, please tap on the screen, share, give us gifts, help us subscribe to this platform. There is much work to do. The work, Bokenzi is a very intelligent man, clearly. He's very eloquent. I can hear that. But the thing is, beneath that, he is readily accepting the discussion or the argument put before him by those who writes whatever he's read, and he takes that as fact. But the fact of the matter is that when you dig deeper than that, you will find that there are things that you will question. I'm not telling you to believe me. I'm saying for you to do research. I'm trying to encourage us to start questioning everything we've been told, because the world that we are living in right now is full of false narratives to make us to actually turn against the very thing that we're supposed to support us, to turn against ourselves, to make us believe that we will never, Africans will never amount to anything on the African continent because we're no good. We cannot do that. I really need you. Just question. Don't take my word for it. I want you to, thank you very much, Bokenzi, for sharing it. Don't question. I'm not saying for you to take my word for it. But the platform is here to provoke our thinking, to make us to, hang on, is this right? And let me go and do some findings. Does it align with my thinking? Do I actually agree with it? No. Do I feel differently? Because the narrative that we've been placed in our mind is so corruptive and so deep, so deeply embedded that it will take 2 or 3 generations before we can wake up out of it. Even I am still influenced by that, and I'm even doing a lot of work. So this is what I am saying here. Please support this platform, because we need, you can clearly see the need for this platform, because many people will have similar thinking to what Bokenzi, my brother, has here. Clearly, he takes it from in good faith, and that's the thing. The good faith that he brings is what is being used against him and the continent to keep us in a bind that is actually preventing us from developing. And I'm really, I kind of feel like the kind of brain that he's got and the kind of things he could contribute to our development is being hampered by the very, very things that is being pumped into his thinking. Sorry, that's my opinion, and I'm just saying it as I see it. But I do just question it.
That was a subtle shade, sir.
No, it's not a shade. I'm not telling you off. I'm not telling you off at all. Lady Max, what would you like to say? Go ahead.
I'm quite mesmerized by the whole conversation. So I have nothing to add. Again, I support everything you said. You know, we have been schooled by them. We use their media. We read everything they produce. Not that we don't produce our own writings, of course we do. But the education system is built on their program, which, you know, is clear. It's been installed very deep. We all have to go and do some unlearning to relearn and get a sense of exactly where we are. So keep up the good work, Citizen Away.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I to be honest, I'm even more energized now. Thank you so much, Lady Max 246, and we're gonna do some broadcasts, and hopefully we'll be doing some broadcast with her live at some point, and I'll share that on her radio platform, and I will encourage you to follow her as well. Follow Lady Max 246. But like I said, a lot of what we're saying here, what is going on in Iran, please, you know, we have to be looking at that in Africa with a fine-tooth comb, you know, because right now Iran has done something that is impossible, that I never thought it would be possible. That somebody would challenge US and say, look, we are not prepared to accept your terms that you put in front of us. You on my land. Iran has said, this is my land, my stand. And I will stand and fall on my land. You will not take me over anymore. You were not going to use your petrodollars to enslave me. You will not use your dollars. I will not allow you to use your petrodollars to sanction me in my land, to oppress me. I will not allow you to use your weapons to dominate me in my land. I am not coming to your space, but in my space, I will be free. And we need to learn from that as Africans. We have to, this system has failed. And I'm hoping that many people will wake up and see that Iran you know, you may not agree with, and I am not a Muslim. Believe you me, I'm not a Muslim, and there are many things I question in that manner. But what I am saying to you is the fact of the matter is that whether or not I agree with or not the Muslim nation or not, in terms of the free will to choose what they want to do, that has been denied them for over 40 years by this Western system that has sanctioned them repeatedly. Medicines they can't get, development they can't get, you know, food, all of those things. They make even to sell their own oil. In Iraq, for example, the US owes Iraq $1 billion in oil revenue, and they have this in the US bank, and they refuse to give it to them. So please, I am not saying to you, I'm not saying anything to you to provoke here. I want us to think about what we are being told about this information, about what is going on around us, and the information. Look, they're telling us a false narrative. How do you go into one person's land and you decide that you go into their home and you decide to tell them what they're going to eat, at what time they're going to sleep, at what, you know, all of this? Please, how can you justify that? You have no moral basis upon which to justify that. And unless we speak about this earnestly, I for one, I cannot, the kind of world that I've lived in, I've been in that kind of the way Bokenzi thinks. Whatever I am told, I accept as the gospel truth. I don't question it. What I'm saying to us is actually held back our development in Africa. For right now, as I speak to you now, I'm thankful.
I don't have to say this.
Yes, go ahead.
I don't have to say this.
Go ahead.
We are still justifying the lack of moral authority.
Okay, hang on. Before we go and do,
you have dismissed it.
no, I have not dismissed anything. I have not dismissed
The
it.
only thing you did was just like put America on the same level.
No, America is much worse. America is much worse.
Okay, I want to give it to you that America is a bad country. They are this, they are that. So are you saying that is that the reason why Iranian people should want to live, Iranian regime should want to live our own people?
That is how many people in US are being unalive right now? Do you know?
None.
None.
The government does not allow.
You know what? Please type ICE and find out. Go and type ICE. Anybody watching here? Do you?
Is different.
No, it's not different. It's not different. Listen. The police.
People are now
No. Listen. Okay. No. Bokenzi. 1 second. Bokenzi. 1 second. I want you to type something for me. Type in Sundown in the US. Sundown. There are towns in the US that black people cannot go to at night in the US. They're all over the US. If they go there, they are unalived. But they don't tell you this. Type it in. It is happening all over the US. No, I'm telling you. But this is the same country.
The Iranian government should have freedom.
No, I'm saying this is the same country. No, I'm saying this is the same country that is telling us about what Iran are doing, and the US have how many people all over in 7 or 8 countries. Do you know how many people? Somebody gave a quote, and he said that over the years, the US have actually unalived 38 million people around the world as a government. I'll share the video. Listen. No, it's not figment. This is a professor who said this. The US has unalived 38. No. This is an American who said it. So it's not like it's an European American who said it. So he said the government of the successive government of the US, they are so hypocritical. I will share the video, and I would like to hear your vote. What I like to hear.
You keep on deflecting to.
I am not deflecting to US. I'm telling you the facts.
Let's speak to Iran. Let's speak to Iranian citizens.
What is it?
So far in the last 47 years.
Who put sanctions on Iranian citizens? Who has put Iran sanctions? But the sanctions have an effect on the people.
Protest.
So
of oppressions they've actually witnessed in the last 47 years.
Oh, my brother, listen. That's a ruse.
Are you willing to have that discussion?
That's I'm listen. What we want, I can certainly have that discussion at another time. But this discussion today is about what Africans can learn from the actions of Iran in defending itself. Certainly, we can have a discussion another time. If I put a program up and we talk about, okay, let's look at the actual oppression of the people carried out by Iran. Is it factual or not? Then we can discuss that. But today, to start talking about that, it's actually because I've actually got a write-up that I'm following, and I want to stick to that. It would not be the service to what I'm doing. I'm happy to have that discussion with you, open, and I will set up something. In fact, I'll be in touch with you. We will set up something where we can actually discuss that, and you will find yourself in the course of doing that live broadcast, it will become apparent to you that a lot of what you are hearing is actually mainstream media figment writing. Because a lot of what we're seeing and what they're saying is projection and trying to get people on side to support the oppression of the people that they're going into Iran to carry out this oppression against. And it can never be justified. However much, if anybody went into the if Iran did what US is doing to them in the US, the people would be absolutely, look, there would be, I don't even have the words. And they've done it not only to Iran. They've done it to Iraq. They've done it to Syria. Look at the state of Syria today. They've done it to Afghanistan. They've done it to Libya. I mean, look, the time has come. We have to be very, very clear with ourselves that this system has actually oppressed rather than support any kind of democracy. It's been a system designed to exploit resources from people. And one more thing I would like to add, I need you to understand that the tenets, the real foundation of the US policy is that any land, they have the right to go to any land anywhere in the world to take their resources. They have the right to access anybody's resources around the world. They gave themselves that power in 1823. This is not conjecture, this is fact. I can give you more details around that. And it is based on the idea of the Pope Nicholas V that talked about that they give Europeans that right to have dominion over all parts of the world and enslave the people. And that's the same mentality that is still have till date. So there are things that you may not be aware of. Just type in Pope Nicholas V and you will get what I'm saying. And it talks about he actually gives them the power to enslave people, in West Africa, to enslave us and take us and then convert us to their religion. So look, we need to understand the deep roots of what he was saying.
If you search further, if you dig further on that information that you just dropped, you realize that at a point in time, that word was recanted.
It wasn't recanted. It wasn't. They have a papacy. It's a papacy. It's a bull. It is papal bull. It is. You cannot recount it. It is there. It is there forever, and they still operate on it.
It was not accepted.
What do you mean?
You should not look at.
Listen, it is what is. It is what
is. You only
is.
see one side of the coin. There are two sides to every coin.
No, I am saying to you that it is still the basis. It's the doctrine of how they operate around the world till today. They justify their going to other places and taking the resources of everybody in the world. The reason why they are in Iran is because of their oil. And we need to understand that it's nothing to do with democracy. It's about the oil. They want to take control of that oil. Why were they in Venezuela? They went into because of the oil. Now they're in Iran.
In Taiwan. Why is America in Taiwan?
Listen, I'm telling you what I'm not. Listen, why are they going and meddling in Venezuela? Why did they take over Maduro? Why are they in Iran?
Maduro was sponsoring powder into America.
Okay.
Of course,
you believe that if you want. You believe that if you want. But listen, my brother, listen, I think I need to move on now. I don't want to distract from the top subject. We will come back to it another time with the discussion.
When I ask questions,
I'm answering you. I am giving you. Look, listen. Okay, Libya. Listen. Okay, listen. I don't know why they're in Taiwan, but I do know why they are in. They have gone into Libya. I do know why they have been in. Well, they say they're trying to protect something to do with China. But and again, they have. That's a crazy thing about this. Now that you mentioned Taiwan, do you know why they're in Taiwan? Because they want to use them as a way in which to actually, be interfering with China. Now the U.S. has something. Hang on. No. Hold on. Before you go ahead, because I'm not going to. After this, I'm actually going to wrap up now. I'm going to say this before we go. Hang on. Before you go ahead, I want you to know something. The U.S. have a doctrine. Go and look it up. It's called the Monroe Doctrine. They will never allow another superpower to have any military base around them. Go and type it up. It is Monroe Doctrine. Yes. Now, hang on. But the same people are now instigating Taiwan by they're sending weapons, they're building things in Taiwan. Again, ignoring. So that law, that Monroe Doctrine, they apply it only to themselves. They did the same thing. They did the same thing in Ukraine. I'm not changing it. I'm giving you the facts. Listen. My brother, only for time purposes.
The reason why they're in Taiwan.
Listen.
I can give you a brief history.
Listen, we don't know. No, I think we all know. But like I said, I haven't got time for that now because listen, my brother, I can't talk about that now because I need to focus on what I'm doing here. And we'll talk about that at a different time. But right now, I need to talk about Iran and what we as Africans can learn. I rather want people to learn things about the steps that they can take in Africa to prepare ourselves to prevent us from being taken over by colonials. And I think that is something that we should do. But for now, I thank you. No, we don't need. No, we don't depend on them. No, we don't depend on them. That's there you go. You see now. You see they're doing it in Ghana right now. They're making cocoa. Burkina Faso is building their own stuff. We are making it ourselves. There you go. You see, that is the mentality. Listen, my brother, I've got to go. I have to. Listen. Okay. Okay. Nobody's blaming anybody. I am saying to you, we have to be independent. And I asked you, if you know, when I spoke to you at the beginning, I said, what solutions can we do on ground, practically? And that's why I'm asking you. I'm not here to blame. I'm here to say we can solve our problems. And if you're focusing on depending on what they tell you, then you're not going to build anything. You need to build on ground. I'm not Burkina Faso. Okay, my brother, I don't want to talk. Listen, listen. We can't, and the questions are taking me away from the topic of the day, which is understanding the strength of Iran and how we can replicate that in Africa to free ourselves from bondage. But thank you very much, Bukenzi. I'll be back later on to talk to you. Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to mute you for now. So, ladies and gentlemen, I do apologize for going long-winded, but the focus is very important. Again, I state this, that Africans understand that what Iran is doing is standing up for the Iran people. And in fact, a lot of people, a lot of people will will not what's the word now? I'm trying to find the right word. A lot of people will lose sight of what is really happening if you just follow the narrative of the West. The narrative of the West to tell us that Iran is bad, is terrible, is everything else. I'm not saying that nothing is perfect. Is the US perfect? I've just told you now. The US has unalived 38 million people in all of the things they've gone around the world to do. 38 million. And there's been no responsibility whatsoever. No responsibility. They've not taken responsibility for any of it. But they are the ones who are telling us we're getting the police of the world. I'm going to post the video. I will post that video, and I want us all to think about that. When a nation that has unalived around the world 38 million people, they refuse to even confront that fact or even apologize for that fact. And they're the ones who are going to be on the sanctimonious table of the soapbox and talk to us about morality and talk to us about good governance and talk to us about democracy. These are the people who are carrying out. Look, this is not. We have to think beyond that. So for me, the reason I'm doing this broadcast is to really raise awareness about the great the fight that is in this that the great fight that Iran has put up to defend its people. And everybody now, you know, they were when they were throwing the bombs and everything else, you know, the people came out. They didn't run and hide because you are bombing them in their own land. You cannot justify this. Is not, you cannot justify what has been going on. There's no justification. Even the UK Prime Minister said, "Oh, we cannot get involved." That tells you that they know that this is wrong. So we have to be aware of the steps that's been taken, and we support and I applaud the work that's been done by Iran to defend itself as a sovereign nation. You know, they have the right to defend themselves against any aggression. So listen, thank you very much for listening to you all, for listening. Thank you for joining me. Please do, we welcome gifts and subscriptions and thanks for those of you who wish to join me and to give the platform and help us grow the platform. I really do need your support. But what I will do in future, we'll talk some more. We'll probably do a part 2 of this, and I'll talk about. I might even talk about the so-called actions of Iran against the people that has been talked about so much, and you'll find out that a lot of it has been instigated by bodies that are. You know, the US has bodies that write reports that goes around the world, and you make you think that it's been written by that country. And you only to find that it's been written, the source comes from the US about a country, painting them in a negative light. This has happened in Burkina Faso, this has happened in Mali, this has happened in Niger. So it's not something, I'm not just coming out spewing. These are, you know, King Hezbollah. Okay, I'll bring you on briefly. Great Royalty. Okay, I'll bring you up, I'll accept you just before, so I can wrap up. I'm not going to, yeah, go ahead.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, my brother. Welcome, go ahead.
Hello,
welcome.
good evening.
Good evening, welcome. Yeah, what would you like to say? Before I wrap up, go ahead.
Yeah, can you hear me, please?
Loud and clear.
Okay, I have about less than 7 minutes to speak with you.
Okay, go ahead.
I will appreciate that if you don't interject, and let's just have a good conversation. Let me pick it up from the point where you mentioned the Papa Bull, and you spoke about slavery, that the Papa Bulls were issued and they were used for slavery. Zero argument about that. But you see, one thing I've observed about the average black person, with all due respect, is that they find excuses rather than find ways of admitting their own past and charting a way forward. And that's one of the reasons why Africa will be backward. You see this new wave of, sorry to use the word, half-educated, half-baked people raving on social media worldwide, Africans. They will be worse than the ones that are leading Africa right now. Because when you hear them talk, you only feel sorry for tomorrow. Now, prior to any Papa Bull, slavery has been in Africa. Africans kidnap Africa to sell and all of that. What boomed the Atlantic slavery was that when people like Bartolomeu Diaz, who is a Portuguese, one of the Portuguese explorers, and Mr. that, saw that these people are selling each other, they came and with other business people and said, look, they will tell tribe A, let's say I have a tribe, I'm Bukenzi as a tribe. They will tell tribe A and say, give me 10 people and I'll pay you so amount. They will meet Bukenzi and say, give me another set of people and they'll pay you so amount. They siphon, utilize, maximize that opportunity of chaos going on between Africa. But we never talked about that. And it is written all over history. The number one question is, why will you sell your fellow black person as slave? I'm not even talking about religion. Well, I've not seen life addressing that. Now, when you address that, when you settle that, then there is healing, mental healing, educational healing, reasoning healing. Then that is when future ideas can go on, can come up. People make excuse, don't make progress. You can't be making the two at the same time. If you are full of excuses and blaming people, then your progress will be lacking. It might appear as if you are moving forward, but you are not moving forward. Now, that aside, you mentioned so many things about America that can they police the world and every other thing. There are no leaders in the world or nations in the world who have dominated the world who are pure. And let me tell you one thing. If you are a president of any country, you must be ready to soil your hand in blood, either publicly or not publicly. So that we have some that we are seeing. Yes, nobody wants war, 100%. But the Iranians that you are speaking for, I wish you know how they think. They use Hamas, which is a subset of Iran, uses a term to describe people who defend them. And the term is, they call them useful idiots. Because they will tell you whether you defend them or not, as long as you are not part of the Islamic Sharia and Sharia, you will be slaughtered. It's a matter of when, not if. So when you are still defending them, you are useful. But after they've taken over, they slaughter you. It's as simple as that. So when you are saying that has America done everything right? No nation has done everything right. But when you are saying that America wants to police the world, America wants to do this, America wants to do this, America has its own corruption, 100%. Just like every other nation. Theirs might be more pronounced or more covered, depending on how you look at it and what you are digging. But that does not mean that America is not making a good impact in our known world today. Unaliving terrorists, eliminating a state that went from, since the time I understand, I'm a grown man now, since the time I understand what is called news, Iran has been saying that the nation of Israel will not be on the map. If reverse the role, if you are the president of that nation, let's call it your nation, and somebody is saying publicly that your nation, there will be a time your nation will not be on the map. I know you will defend them. You allow them to be in peace. Nobody wants war, but at times there are just causes for war. Let's leave it. Let's leave it like that. Now you spoke about education. I see. I was on the live. I wanted to come up, but I didn't come up. Yeah, because I didn't have time. Not today. And the person was saying that you can't use the white man's science. These are an African lady speaking. That you should not use a white man's science. You should not use a white man's education to develop yourself. You should not use a white man like you to develop your own. Okay. Zero.
Can you? There's a lot of noise in the. Hang on. There's a lot of noise in the background. It's really, I can hardly hear you properly. It's coming and going. So it's like
okay,
it's your car or
something. I'm on the road. Okay.
Yeah, it's really noisy. I can't. It's not allowed. I can't hear you clearly. Can you get in the car or something, because it's quite noisy, and for a few minutes.
Okay, but did you hear the things that I said in the past?
I heard some of it, but it was being distracted by the noise of the road, because I kept trying to.
Okay, you can react. I will just mute.
Okay, my brother, the PayPal bull is a fact. And on this platform, I need you to understand that slavery happened all over the world. And selling each other around the world. That happened. And there's no. And then hold on, hang on.
Wait, please. Is it possible for you to allow me to respond to him?
Okay. All right. Go ahead. Okay, I'll let you. Yeah, I'll let you do. Go ahead.
Thank you. The gentleman, honestly, I don't know. My voice is echoing. I don't know why.
1 second. Go ahead.
Oh, thank you. Right. So, gentleman, you sound a bit educated, but somehow I find you to be in the middle of a half-baked, in your analysis, because it's like you're not really embedded in the information. So, you say that our people, we are selling our people, okay? But you forgot that even in history, I just came back from this library in St. Pancras in London, here in King Cross, and I found a document where it was written that while we were in primary school, we were told that Mungo Park came to discover the source of River Niger, that Richard Lander came to discover the mouth of River Niger. But I found the documents in the library today, and up till now I'm having fever because I couldn't believe what I saw. It happened that these are bunch of criminals with a mini flotilla. They came with flotilla, kidnapping our people and selling. One of the two brothers, Landa brother, John Landa, was shot in nearby, you know, the Igbo land in Kogi State. That Igbo land they call Anapeti. Anapeti is in southern lower part of Kogi State. That was where he was shot. He was ambushed. You don't even know. You don't know what you're talking. What were they doing? It was our people that shot him. He eventually, but they told us story that he got a mosquito. He was bitten by mosquito. That was not true. Documents I saw today show that there was a fight. The local militias, our people had guns, and they were outgunned, and he was about 30 people in his flotilla were shot, and he was actually he got a bullet wounds that eventually gave up after some days, because he was unable to get to a place where he was going to be treated, because he was rushing to go back to Abonima in the River State area. He was unable to, before he could get there, it was too late. He has lost a lot of blood. So first of all, you don't even know what you are talking about. Even before Pope Nicholas, the Byzantines came to our place to steal people. The Byzantine came to steal people. Many people were taken from our place. He said it was not our people that gave them the permission. They came by force. They came in hundreds. If you know the way Fulani invade people, that's exactly how they came. Tomorrow now, maybe in the next 50 years or 100 years, you will tell us that it was our people that collaborated with Fulani to come and taking people from our lands. You know, these are the kind of story you're going to tell us. Then you say that you said about education. Our people were not educated. They came to educate us. In Igbo land, before even the Portuguese came, we had.
This man, are you listening at all? Why are you? Why instead of
just hang on, let me finish. Please, no interruption. Please, no interruption. Please, no interruption.
Instead of you to attack
no interruption, please, no interruption.
To attack the point, you attack the person. Are you serious?
Please, hang on. Let him finish, because you spoke, and I don't think he's attacking you. He's trying to talk about the issue. But hang on, carry on. Can you do it? Wrap it up here.
What did he mean by that?
Just give me a say, please. Please close your mouth. Please mute. In Igbo land, before the white people came, we have a form of writing that we call Nsibidi. In the history book, they said, that our people, that our ancestors gave us history orally. But this contradicts the reality. Our history, our government, our institution, existed institution those days, were laws, even how to marry, even how to do burial, even how to govern communities, how to pass, judgment. They were all written down either in scroll, in stones, or even on the sticks, sticks. And they are all in CBD. Some part of Igbo land call it in CBD. Some call it in CBD, They were written. One of the reasons why they fought Ekumeku War was because people resisted, because the Britons said that they must stop people writing down things. Because they were so organized. One of the reasons for the war was because people resisted that they must keep their way of life, including the way they write, document their things. Britain said no, they want to bring the British way of life. That was one of the reasons people fought war against them. It's not just in the Ekumeku War. There are also Isuama warriors. There were Abreba warriors. There is a Hofia warrior that fought them. So some of this information you are giving, they are half baked. Pope John Paul II, before he gave up, he apologized for the atrocity they did across the globe. They were involved in unaliving 68 million people. Please go to your Google and get information. It's not hidden. It's not hidden. He apologized before he gave up. He knew that he was about to die, and he apologized that he didn't give it. It was when he apologized that we went into archive to track what happened. They were involved in all this slavery. They were involved. You say that people, no, they come with guns, they come with superior power. And when you resist, many will be kidnapped, many will be shot. And then the rest of them will be kidnapped and take over sea. Many, it's not necessary that the people gave them willingly. No, people were scared. That's not true. Then you talk about Hamas. Hamas were a terrorist organization. Who created Hamas? Who exactly created Hamas? You don't even know. You don't know Hamas. Israel created Hamas to fight Fatah, to fight the Fatah. You don't even know them. It was until when they changed their code, they said, no, we don't want to be slaves to Israel. This is the way we go. Even Israel sponsored the election. Hamas won the election that Israel sponsored. When they won and they make a new laws that they don't want to follow the what Israel is saying. That was when Israel got angry with them and they started fighting each other. Israel created them to fight Fatah. So please don't say what you don't know. When the criminal in Syria today called Al-Julani, who was the first person to recognize him to be a president? It was Israel that recognized him. A man that had $10 million bounty on his head, a head chopper. He has run from Al-Qaeda to ISIS, from ISIS to Jabhat al-Nusra. He kept jumping from all of them. They were all organized by Israel. Israel keep hiding him. When Russia wanted to unalive him, they used a Israeli diplomatic vehicle and escorted him to Turkey. And they hide him in Gaziantep. That's where he was been hiding for a very long time. Until when they managed to disorganize Syria, taking all their resources, their oil, and make sure that there's no fund for Syria to continue governing themselves. That's when they struck again, and they brought him back. The first people to recognize him were Israel, followed by America, then Britain, and all the vassal states across Europe tried to recognize him. Let me just stop here, please. It's not like I'm coming with a lecture, but I want to correct some certain things that you don't know. I can go on and tell you about other ones.
Okay, now, okay. So I will not sleep on the live.
Okay, please wait.
I know you are going to. Okay.
Hold on.
Everybody, can you hear me clear?
Whoa, hold on. No, 1 second.
Can you hear me clearly?
1 second. Everybody, hold on. Let me chip in here. I want to just chip in here first. King, just hold on. Now, on top of what Truthful, thank you so Truthful. Thank you for really stating those facts. And I think it's things to look at. I think this is evidence that we need to do a lot of research ourselves. That's why, again, you've just proven, King Hezekiah and Bukenzi, why we need a breadth of information, not just one side. Now, this information that the truest of the true, I know some of it. I've heard about the issue of Mungo Park and all of that, and how they died. But to actually have the paper evidence of that is fantastic. And that is really important. So the point I'm making here is that we have to be very aware that the system really survives when there is division among us, to allow it to continue to exist and prevent us from actually getting the point of actually developing our continent. So we owe it to ourselves to do more research. There's a lot more information out there that, look, the reason why the truest truth is coming out and others is because there are so many information that we're hearing and that we hear that our soul is telling us is wrong. But because we don't have evidence to back it, we accept. We need to really begin to look at things differently and question. Again, I say it. Everything has to be questioned. Thankfully, Truest, even to recap it off, it confirmed the fact that the Pope apologized for the atrocity committed by the West. Now, did some of our people get involved in slave trade? Tinubu, for example, she did. But it was under the coercion, working with these people. Some of them did for their own gain. There will always be people like that. But that is not the narrative for all of us. What they tried to do, they don't tell you this, that when they enslaved Africa, what they did, once they carved us up into different countries, different enclaves. They were now using that as a way you couldn't exist without selling anybody. They create the conditions in which we were forced to sell each other to survive. But they don't tell you any of this. The Berlin Conference. So please, when we're talking about this, we need to look at a breadth of information together and really begin to understand that even as we speak now, they are not relenting because they depend on our resources. Everything is about our resources and how they can continue to exploit those resources. It is up to you and me to find a way to make sure that our coming generation no longer becomes their tools in our own land. The sad thing about all of this is that people who are not on the African continent are deciding the fate of people who are on the African continent. People who are not Africans are deciding the fate of Africans on the African continent. I'm going to say that again. People who are not Africans are deciding the fate of Africans who are on the continent. They are not Africans, they are not on the continent, and they're deciding the fate of generations to come. We need to change that. So this platform is really about waking us up, understanding that just making a statement and saying, oh, we are not going to free ourselves. It's not, I'm not coming here and say, oh, what do we do? I'm saying to you, please come up with suggestions. What solutions? Can we come up with something that would actually free us? Instead of just saying the things that, oh, we are not good at this, we're not good at that. Here is what we can do. Iran is one example. Iran is showing us. Iran told the US, any oil going through that Suez, that Strait of Hormuz has to be in yuan. They are standing up because they know that if they don't stand up for themselves, then nobody else will. We can learn from that. We have to learn to stand up for Africa so that we benefit from our resources. Thousands and thousands. Do you know how many people have died in the sea? I've got people who, I know people that have, their family, relatives have died in front of them in the sea, in the Mediterranean. All because we believe that Europe is the best, and whereas Europe is coming to stick and suck the blood out of Africa. So the reason I do this program is it's not point scoring. It's not here to sort of tell you, oh, look at that. I'm saying we have the tools. Everything that they look, we have the tools to believe.
Can I speak later?
Briefly.
This man has spoken so many things that is false.
Sorry? What did you say? Look, hang on.
Can I have a moment?
Okay.
This man has spoken so many things that is false.
Okay, tell me what is false. Keep it brief, please, because I need to wrap up. Keep it brief, please, because keep it brief.
You see, let me tell you one thing about when it comes to the issue of slavery. You number one, by starting by saying that I'm half-baked, that's insulting and that's degrading. You don't talk to people like that. You attack issues and not people. I never insulted you. I don't know you from India. I don't care who you are.
I'm sorry if I have got
no, forget about that.
Unintended, please.
Let me make my point. Don't worry about that. Now, I have, and I'll mention names, especially tracing among the Yorubas. I did part among the Igbos and the Hausas, but I've not concluded my work to be able to speak boldly on that. And I did part research among the Ethiopians and even people in the Zanzibar region of Africa. Now, among the Yorubas, ranging from Olatunji Ojo to Samuel Johnson to Akintoye to Morenike Asaju, I can tell you that pre-colonial slavery existed. I never mentioned to you that the colonial masters came with open hands and they were dancing and beating drum and saying, oh, accept us. That was, who made that point? Nobody is denying the fact that they came and used force. What I'm saying is this. I said one thing. Host said he wants solution, but he's speaking like the people of the day, not people who are looking for solution. What do I mean by speaking like people of the day? We look for what to see. If you don't acknowledge your past, you can't even know the true state of your presence, and you can't fashion out your future. And that's why Africa is bleak and will remain bleak. It's not because we ourselves, we've done some atrocities in the past, which we are trying to bury. And this is history. History will repeat itself. if you don't acknowledge that you've made a mistake, you are not good enough in the past, and fashion a way and say, okay, we take responsibility for this. How do we prevent it in the future? You will come back to that point where you need to repeat it in the past.
One second, my brother, King Hezekiah.
Slavery.
Hey, Prince Hezekiah, let me be clear about something. I have not, nowhere have I talked about what the colonists are doing to us and what is it. I'm talking about the actions of Iran in freeing itself. That topic about slavery, I haven't talked about slavery. The topic today has been about how Iran is taking control of its own destiny by preventing itself from being attacked without responding. That's what I'm talking about. I haven't talked about slavery. This topic is not about slavery. If you bring that up, it is not about slavery at all. So I haven't talked about that at all. So if you're talking about that as a different topic, they may have mentioned it in passing, but the focus of this topic has been about Iran freeing itself. So if you're going to talk about anything else, then we can talk about somewhere else. But that one here, it's not about slavery today at all. Okay? It isn't.
Hold on, please. Let me.
So
see, this is it. Somebody said I did not have that map baked and I did not give balanced information. I need to rehammer that so that whoever is listening, whether A or FYP, we know that I know what I'm saying and we bring the balance. And you said we might have mentioned it in the past. You said, what can Africa do to free itself? You ask a multifaceted question. So when we are picking one point to hammer it, you can say we should talk about other points, not say that these are part of it. I said what I've observed from most Africans and why we will not move forward is because we always seek for who to blame rather than taking responsibility for the past.
Hang on. King Hezekiah.
Charting the course for the future.
King Hezekiah. Hezekiah, hold on. Hang on.
You are echoing.
Yeah, can you mute yourself, please? Mute. Listen, I had to be honest, I need to go and do something. I hear what you're saying, but again, I'm going to reiterate it again. I am about us providing solutions for ourselves. Trying to rehash what happened in the past is not going to solve present problem. What we need to do is to look at ourselves, and I agree that we have to do a certain amount of introspection. But in doing that, we have to make sure that we do not end up in this place where we are psychologically depressing ourselves. We need our people to stand up. Okay, this was wrong, that was wrong. Now we're moving forward. I am talking about how to solve our problems right now, how to make sure that we do not end up being enslaved in our land back again. Marco Rubio spoke about certain things about that, which I'm not going to go into now because that's a different topic. But listen, I don't want to deviate from that topic, the main topic, which I'm going to show on the screen before I wrap up, because it is so important that Iran is fighting for its survival. What can Africa learn? That is what I'm saying. And anything else other out of that, it's going out of point. It is now trying to rehash. We need to focus our people. We need to make sure that we begin to believe in ourselves. When we're saying, oh, we sold ourselves, or we are the ones at fault, we are leaving ourselves in a loop. You know, they are leaving ourselves in a loop. They are trying to free themselves. They are working. They're doing everything they can. And America, Trump came out and said, oh, by the way, why are they fighting back? Why are they fighting back? We were just attacking them. Why are they fighting other places? Well, if you're attacking them and they told you we will do so, and they did it. So I'm saying we can learn from that. Listen, guys, I need to rush off now. Thank you so much for everybody for joining. Thank you, Lady Max. Thank you, Bokensi, King Hezekiah, The Truest Truth. Thank you so much. We'll continue this program, this broadcast again. I need to take a break. I'm really grateful for your contributions. But like I said, Iran is fighting for its survival. What can Africa learn? Let us make that something we can think about, and maybe we can apply that personally in our own communities to see how we can free ourselves. Thank you so much. Thank you all for now.
Okay,
bye for now.
So much.
Thank you.
So much. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
But
Bye,
there are
guys.
so many things that I have to say,
But
we just have to go.
yeah.
Anyways, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.
This is Newa.
Bye-bye. Bye. Bye all. Bye. Bye. Okay, bye. Oh, gosh. Okay. Ah, right. Okay. Thank you so much, those of you on Synovia Ridley. Thank you so much. Thank you for the thumbs up, and please continue to subscribe. Help us grow. Please, you can subscribe again. Get me in touch. And my number is +44 7399 580 606. I'll leave that number on the screen so that you can get in touch with me, Synovia, and anybody else. I can send you the link directly how you can subscribe. In fact, I'll do that now before I go, Synovia. So I'll let you have the number. Yeah, so that so you can get in touch with me, just so we can add you. We need to grow the platform. If it wasn't for time purposes, I would spend more time. Oh, you left your email address. Fantastic. Okay, fantastic. You got it. Fantastic. Okay, fantastic. Brilliant. All right, listen, you take care now. And I'll talk to you soon, Synovia. I'll be in touch, and we will speak real soon. For now, thank you, and bye for now. Thank you for joining. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification button, share with the family and friends. We need to grow this platform. There's a lot to do. You can see there's a lot of things that we need to do in our communities to wake our people up, because many of them are still, frankly, asleep, based on what I just what we discussed tonight. But thank you so much. Thank you, and bye for now. Bye.